Shabbat shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. What's going on with the family? Y'all all right? I'm a little off center here, huh? Let me move this over here a bit. Slack you, y'all. What's happening? Bayan in the house. Shalom to you and the family, man. Prayers out to you. My brother Ashar. Shalom to you, good brother. What's going on with y'all? Hopefully everybody's doing all right. All right. My brother Kohaf. Shalom to you, right? Shabbat shalom. Let's see. Where we at? Give me 1 minute, y'all. Let me knock that. All right, all right. Shalom, Hezekiah. Shalom to you. I'm around the family. Shalom to y'all. Karatazar, my good brother. Shabbat shalom. Shalak in the house. Shalom to you. All right. Hope y'all ready. Hope y'all are ready. You know the routine. Y'all are veterans, so I don't have to advertise to y'all. When I say this about wiping your feet, I'm talking to the stragglers that come in late. I'm talking to the ones that just like to peek in and just get the information and run. Come on. Show some common courtesy. Wipe them feet. Hit the like button, man. Help your brother out. Help the family out here, man. We on a mission over here, man. We messengers. We trying to push this movement out here. We're trying to push this information out there. We're trying to keep our people aware. Ignorance is bliss, but not over here. Not over here. All right. So if you appreciate that and you live by them standards, hit the like button. That's all. That's all I need from my brothers and sisters at this particular time. Let's just help get this information circulating, man. Don't let YouTube stop this rhythm because they use an algorithm. We move by rhythm. They trying to implement their robotic, scientific, technological rhythm called an algorithm. No, no, no. We not messing with that madness, man. But if we got to dance to the tune of they beat, hit the like button, man. Let's show them how we get down. Yes, indeed, Karatazar. Beautiful times, man. The water shack for wiping your feet, man. Your guy in the house. Shalom, what's up, Ike? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So let's get to it, man. Hopefully everybody's solid, man. Shabbat shalom to everybody. The water for joining in on the conversation and accompanying me on this journey and the rest of the messengers of the covenant on this journey of waking our people up throughout the four corners of the earth, man. By hook or by crook, we're going to get them. By hook or by crook, we're going to get our people, man. So, as y'all can see, man, it's a lot of things we need to talk about. A lot of things on the table. It's being rumored now that possibly North Korea is talking about they'll send 100,000 volunteers to Russia, man, to give them help. Because if you leave it to the headlines, man, Russia's taking some L's right now. Putin is tucking his tail. This is what the headlines are telling us. Um, what's very interesting is, and I made mention of this a while back. We got World War One footage, World War Two footage, Vietnam footage, Korean War footage. I mean, since when did they stop sending out wartime reporters to get out and record and get in the mix of the battle and film and get interviews and everything else to find out what's been going on in these particular wars that's affecting the world? I mean, we don't see nothing besides headlines and a couple of highlighted clips of a tank blowing up in the middle of nowhere, right? You might see a condemned, burnt down building, and some Edomites walking about it. They're talking about how the Russians just bombed them, or you may see some Russian troops with a band-aid on his head, walking as if he just surrendered, talking about it's over, we're retreating. I mean, how do you know who's who? They're the same people. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of folly going on with this whole war thing, man. But we know that much of it is prophesied. I'm not saying there's not a real war going on. I'm just saying the propaganda and how we're getting fed could lead everybody in different directions. Koaf, this is in particular, you know, my brother in Illinois. Uh, you know how they've been talking about this purge law. I want to make sure that we get some clarity on that and we talk about that because clearly, I don't want my brothers and sisters, man, to get caught in the loop of just passing along information, running with the narrative and the headlines that Esau gives us, man, because it's almost like a reverse psychology. And I could sometimes be a victim of it as well. That's why I try to be circumspect and at least know what I'm talking about, or try to know and gather as much as we need. Because look, the scriptures tell us this, in Second Corinthians 13. Uh, Let me share this with y'all before we get started. Scriptures tell us, man, how we supposed to go about establishing our information for the most part, and we're advised to make sure we got witness to what we're talking about. And like I said, I'm speaking to you as much as I'm speaking to myself. Second Corinthians 13 and 1, it says, "This is the third time I'm coming to you. In the mouth of two or three witnesses shall every word be established." So everything that we try to get or we need, we have to establish by witness. We can't just get out there and just say something. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be established through witness. So, I know everybody's been hearing about the Illinois quote unquote purge law and how all hell is going to break loose come January 1st, 2023. No cash bails for murderers, trespassers, rapists, DUI, everything, right? So it's basically saying everybody, Kohav, you're in Illinois. Okay, so thank you, brother. Thank you. Uh Brother's there. And I'm gonna show you a couple of different instances. That's already going on in California and in New York. Uh Esau lets out certain headlines like that and labels things to not only fearmonger, but to have those who's quote unquote conspiracy theorists or the ones who are promoting solid information, if they can throw in some disinformation and throw in something in there of confusion or a lie, it only discredits whoever put it out there. Nobody's going to come after Yahoo. Nobody's going to come after CNN. You dig what I'm saying? They're going to come after me, you, and everybody else to discredit those who are speaking truth. Because if they give us a headline that, isn't emphatically true, then of course they're going to make it look like, oh, there's no reason to believe anything else that they say. Because look what they're saying. Look, we know everybody done seen, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but for those of you who've watched the quote unquote Purge movie, right? It was a 24-hour period where there was no punishment for no crimes. Everybody could go out there, you can kill, rape, rob, murder, do whatever you want, and you was gonna get a free pass for 24 hours. And after that, everything went back into complete lockdown and subjection to the states and government. The founding fathers, right? That is not what's going to happen in Illinois. There is no free crime spree that's about to happen in Illinois where Jason's gonna be running around here killing and robbing and doing everything because they letting all the criminals out the jails. That's not what's going on. But they give you this headline, and I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen Jake's get to promoting it, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh shit, the purge is coming in January. Hold on. Did you read the bill yet? Did you go back and double check, or are you just passing along a meme? Or are you just, forwarding and promoting something that you haven't even checked yourself? We have to be careful because at the same time, information that they give us could be used against us to discredit anything that we're talking about. So we don't want to give a black eye to the truth because we've sucked in some information. Now, does the scripture speak about if there's going to be civil unrest and unruliness and sedition amongst men, fighting amongst friends, the whole nine? Absolutely. But is it coming January 1st, 2023? And is it going to be enacted through the state of Illinois? Is that where the prophecy's going to go? No. So let's be careful. Let's be careful. All right. But we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about that. Matter of fact, let's just get there first. Let's start there first. And we'll get to it. All right. So for those that's unaware, and if you haven't really been, staying hip to the game and what's been going on, there's this quote unquote purge law that they're talking about in Illinois, right? So, of course, they're gonna use a little Negro like this to be the poster child for all wickedness, all manners of evil. This is who you looking at when you hear about a purge. Oh, they expect the niggas to get crazy. Second degree murder, the rapists, the trespassers, and as soon as you get on there, and you got these Edomite politicians who's jockeying for position. Remember, we got Republican primaries coming up, Democratic primaries coming up in November. Everybody's trying to jockey for position. Everybody's trying to get their party more favor. So you got these Republicans jumping out there talking about, look what the Democratic state of Chicago is trying to do. They're trying to they're going to turn the whole state into a purge state. We're all doomed if you allow these Democrat officials and state officials to maintain power here. You see the picture here? Oh, yeah. It's going to be niggas like him. It's going to be breaking into your house, killing you because they've allowed them to walk free. There's not going to be any cash bail for them. They're going to just let them go. All the ones that's locked up in the jails already, they're going to let them out. Yeah, this is all stuff that I've heard and I've seen these Edomites talking about it. Oh yeah, there's trespassers on your property. They can move into your shed, and when the police come, all they can do is give them a ticket, but you can't get them up off your lawn. Oh, so you know, trespassing, I guess, is no longer a law no more. Let's look at this, man. But when you see this, immediately you should automatically be looking like, okay, hold on. They already getting ready to line Jakes up because you know what? This also was going to make Jakes go out there and commit crimes under the false pretenses of not understanding exactly what the hell is going to be happening to him. Oh, I can go do this and they ain't gonna hold no bail on me. Oh, I'm gonna go over here and wild out. It's not a free pass to commit crime, man. Don't get caught up with the foolishness, Israel. Okay, so Illinois becomes the first state to pass the quote purge law. And who's this? Yahoo News is promoting this. Okay, so let's see what they're talking about. Illinois is passing a law that some would say will make history. Illinois is looking to be the first state in the United States to abolish cash bail, and the consequences of passing such a law have many believing the state could mirror the horror movie The Purge. In the film, citizens were given 24 hours to commit all the crimes they wanted. Look, that's the premise of the film. Now, why would you think that not having cash bail is going to turn into 24 hours to run out there and commit any crimes you want free of charge? There's not going to be no penalties. Nothing's going to happen to you. You can go out there. This is not the deal. What in the hell are people thinking? Passing this along as if this is going to happen. Oh, 24 hours, everybody going to get killed. Women going to get raped. Hide your kids, hide your wives. Remember that, Jake? Look at it. January 1st, 2023, the Safety Act will commence in the state of Illinois. This act will get rid of cash bail system in its entirety. The name safety is an acronym for acronym. Why couldn't I get that out? For safety, accountability, fairness, and equity today. Those that instated the act believe it will reduce arrests and limit those put away based on the crime. And let's move on. Non-detainable offenses. There are 12 non-detainable offenses where the new law would enable cash bail. The law includes second-degree murder, arson, drug-induced homicide, robbery, kidnapping, aggravated battery, burglary, intimidation, aggravated driving under the influence, fleeing and eluding, drug offenses, and threatening a public official. So these are saying that these all could qualify for what is considered a non-detainable offense. So, in other words, you can't be detained, arrested, or held, or uh, uh, locked up if you commit any of these crimes. On the surface level, this is what they're trying to say. So you can commit murder, they can't detain you. You can commit arson, they can't detain you. Drug-induced homicide, or you was high and killed somebody, they can't detain you. You rob somebody, you're getting off scot-free. Kidnapping, you out of here. You good. Don't worry about it. Burglary, intimidation, all of that. So they saying this is what's happening. I'm very concerned about an increase in violent crime, but again, I do want to stress there is still time to fix it. Oh, there's still time to fix it, huh? Okay, all right. And the state's attorneys are working very hard, as we have been for the last year and a half, to fix this law. It is very fixable, where we can still eliminate cash bail, but make sure the right people are in custody and everybody else who's not a danger gets out. That's the state attorney, Robert Berlin, saying. So it's not finalized yet. Let's move on. The Safety Act would allow criminals a pretrial release for the crimes listed above. And if prosecutors fail to show clear and convincing evidence that the alleged could be a threat to a specific individual. Unfortunately, the consequences of the Safety Act make an impact on how fast arrested criminals must be dealt with, because prosecutors would only have 48 hours to decide whether the alleged criminals should be released. Hold on. Let's read that one more time. It says they got 48 hours for prosecutors to decide whether the alleged criminal should be released. So there's circumstantial reasons as if they would allow somebody to be released, others would not. But it sounds as if they will be detained. Did we read that correctly? They have 48 hours to decide whether or not they stay in jail or they should be released. Low level crimes, those are the ones that they're saying we don't need to hold you. You can go, but you got to come back to court in 21 days, or you're going to have a warrant out for your arrest. Is this here? Here goes it. Here goes the law right here. Okay, let's look up here. I just want to get this out the way. Sometimes people ask me, "What's your thought about the Purge law?" Okay, I'm gonna show you my summary of provisions of Illinois House Bill 3653, Criminal Justice Omnibus Bill. I mean, how many Jakes is going to go to the bill and actually look at it and see, well, what's going on here? And you ain't got to read the whole thing. Certain things you just want to kind of keyword, like I'm doing up here. See up here? You may have to do a keyword search. I want to find out, well, how many times is the word pretrial in this bill? 57 times. How about murder? Is murder in here? Yeah. 3 times, and all in this one particular paragraph. Let's find out if it says anything about there's non-detainable offenses for a murderer. Felony murder law amends the Criminal Code 2012, clarifying that in order to be charged with first-degree murder when committing a forcible felony other than second-degree murder in which another individual dies, the person or another participant acting with them must have caused the death. So it's just defining what a felony murder is, but it didn't say that is a second degree murder is not detainable. But here's the let's search down, because I want to get just to one particular point, because we did read. Okay, look at this: arrest and release from law and custody. So this is what we're talking about. And let's move up a little bit, because we're seeing that this is what they're talking about. Because mind you, this was on the table how long ago? Since February 15, 2021. Why is it just now all of a sudden becoming a talking point right before November elections? Has anybody thought about that? Anybody considered that maybe this is being utilized as a political tool to put people in fear, to make sure that they vote their right massa in, to stay in oppression, to follow after the folly and the lies? Again, I'm not saying that there is not going to be unrest of the people. Yes, there is. That's prophesied, of course. We've talked about it on a number of occasions. Second Ezra 5, Second Ezra 15, Matthew 24, Second Timothy 3. We know all of this is going to go down. Luke 21, even Yahushua said that your family members are going to turn against you. Your kinfolks deliver you up. So there's going to be civil issues that go on prophetically, no question. But is this the beginning? Is this going to happen January 2023? All hell's going to break loose in Illinois and other states to follow? No, because they're not even saying that. This has been on the table for over a year. That's why the attorney general or the state attorney was talking about, oh, it's not in effect yet. We still got time to make some revisions and fix it up. But let's move down. Let's move down. Let's get this out the way. So here we go. Pretrial reforms. The following pretrial provisions take effect January 1st, 2023. So this is what we're talking about, right? So abolishment of cash bail, the Code of Criminal Procedure in 1963 is amended to abolish the requirement of posting monetary bail on or after January 1st, 2023. Revisions are made to multiple states to replace the references, quote, bail and, quote, conditions of bail with pretrial release and conditions of pretrial release. Removes the language from counties. So they just talking about what they are removing and what they're replacing it with. Okay. Let's look down here. Arrest and release from law enforcement. Okay. So this requires law enforcement to issue a citation in lieu of custodial arrest for traffic offenses. So you get pulled over for a ticket, you're not getting arrested, they're going to give you a citation. Class B or C misdemeanor offenses are petty and business offenses in which the person does no obvious threat to the community or other persons and who have no medical or mental issues that pose a risk to their own safety. Those released on citation must be scheduled to court within 21 days. Okay. The next bullet point allows law enforcement officers to release a person arrested for an offense for which pretrial release may not be denied without appearing before a judge who summons the court to be in court within 21 days, creates a presumption in favor of pretrial release by the arresting officer. So the arresting officer, depending on whatever the situation of the offense is, the arresting officer can request or say, listen, this doesn't need to go to court. We don't need to waste time on that. Here, take the citation, a ticket. I'm letting it be known to the court. Just show up in 21 days. You'll be all right. Here, this requires an initial appearance before the court. The defendant be released or upon a verified petition of the state that a detention hearing be set. Where's the part I'm looking at? Requires the person be charged the president. No, we're down here. Okay. Pretrial release procedures. Release on your own reconnaissance creates a presumption to release a defendant or a personal recognition on the condition that the defendant attends all required court proceedings, does not commit any criminal offenses. What? Hold on. You've been let go under the guidelines that you can't commit any more criminal offenses. That applies to all your pretrial release. So if somebody did get arrested, let's say for trespassing, the purge law would say you can get back out and keep going. They are saying no, you can't commit any more criminal offenses. Other than that, your ass is getting locked up again, and they ain't giving you no pretrial. No, they're not letting you out. But look, okay, let's continue on. Additional condition of release shall be set only when it's determined that it's necessary. Hold on, where are we at? Okay, right here. Detention only shall be imposed when it is determined that the defendant poses a specific and real and present threat to a person or has a high likelihood of willful flight. So they're acknowledging that the detention of an individual will be imposed based upon the judgment of their crime and what a judge or officer says is right. So you're telling me if somebody commits second degree murder, it's going to be determined that they're not going to be a threat to anybody else in the public, that they're not going to go on the run. You're telling me that if somebody committed a DUI or a drug offense or somebody got killed, that they're not going to be determined to be as a specific threat to anybody else again? No, come on now. Esau ain't letting no damn Jakes out. And this is Illinois now. Illinois is bigger than Chicago. Illinois is bigger than no, Indiana's a separate state. What other states is it? I mean, Chicago's just so known. Is there any other states in well-known states, Koaf, that I could reference? Help me out here, man. I don't want to be sounding like because it's easy for people to say, oh, it's Chicago because Chicago's the most recognized city in Illinois. But this is for the whole state. It's the whole state. I got to try to figure this out. Where's my brother at? Well, my brother's there, man. You know what I mean? Uh Alada, you from Chicago, man. I mean, come on. Get your people in line. Now don't get me wrong. Chicago's wilding. They got the law telling you can't do no police pursuits. They are trying to collapse Chicago, no question. But this particular law isn't exactly what people are, trying to promote it as. We just got to make sure that we're kind of accurate on it. Let me finish this up. So it lets it be known. Detention. So people are going to be detained. You are going to get locked up. And they're saying that it will be imposed when it's determined that the defendant poses a specific and real present threat to a person or has high likelihood of willful flight. So let's look at what they said over here. So they got 48 hours to determine whether or not that disqualifies. So do you think somebody that commits second degree murder, you think that they're in danger of harming someone else? You think that they're in danger of flying and fleeing after committing that crime? I think they're going to determine that this person is high risk. We're not letting them out. You're staying detained. Arson, you done burnt somebody's house down. I think you're probably going to be in danger of fleeing. Drug-induced homicide, you can kill somebody high on drugs. You're a danger to society. You're not getting out. Robbery, you done robbed somebody's house and then you went down the street, you robbed a bank, whatever the case may be, you're a danger to society, you're a danger to flight. No, you're not getting out. Kidnapping, I mean, do I need to go on? There will be detentions and there's going to be determinations on whether or not somebody qualifies to get out. Now, somebody going in to your local Walmart and stealing a hoodie and a bag of chips is different than a robbery. That person that stole that hoodie and the bag of chips is getting ready for the winter and they're hungry. A cop is going to say, you know what? There's no need for a cash bail for this person, man. Here's your ticket. Jails is overcrowded as it is, man. Here's your ticket. You got 21 days, man. Show up in court. You got a warrant out for you, man. We're going to find your ass. We got all your information. We got your fingerprints, everything else. Do what you need to do and make sure you're in court. That's the type of things that they're talking about. Different than a guy that runs up in Walmart, strapped up, puts the gun to the head of the cashier and says, give me all of the money, and then goes to each register, takes all the money, runs out. The cops say, oh, you're busted. Arrest him. 48 hours. Oh, no, they're not a threat. No, we don't need cash bail for him. Let him go. He's fine. Now, I could be wrong. Could these judges and these attorneys in the state of Illinois all be on the same page and say, yeah, let them all out? No bail. It's possible. I'll leave the door open for that possibility. But in all likelihood, I don't think the scope of the lives and the lives of people in Illinois is going to change overtly uh, January 1st and moving forward. Um, let's continue on. If the court decides to detain the defendant, hold on. I thought that there was nobody's getting arrested. It's purge. You getting out. You do what you want. Guess not. The court must make a written finding as to why less restrictive conditions would not assure safety to the community and the defendant's appearance in court. So the court has to define why they say, nope, we're not letting this person out. At each subsequent court hearing, the judge must find the continued detention of or conditions imposed are necessary to avoid specific, real, and present threat to any person or willful prosecution. So the court will acknowledge and say why they made the decision to keep that person locked up. Okay. So people will be getting locked up and detained. It will be on the court and on judges to decide who gets out and who doesn't. But there is not going to be some quote unquote purge going on in Illinois, January. Okay. Like I said, unless I leave the door cracked to say that there is going to be a conspiracy amongst the judges and the attorneys and the state attorneys and saying, yep, we're letting everybody out. We don't give a damn. Um, okay, then maybe that will go on. But there is conditions and they have back doors already locked in that say, no, this is not what's going on. We're going to be detaining people and we got 48 hours to figure out whether or not their crimes qualify for release, no bail, or they staying locked up. Simple. Now, look, they already have things going on here. Catch and release to be mandated in New York State. Bail reform is coming in 2020 New York. This has already been on. This was from 2019. Now they already do have. Now there are some issues where low level crimes, where people might consider low level crimes or whatever the case may be. There's some questionable stuff going on in New York. There was a cat that tried to rob a bodega, and the owner of the bodega, man, killed the cat, man, that tried to rob him. They locked up the owner of the store for defending his store and his life. They locked him up, but they let him out. I think he was locked up for a few weeks, and they let him out. But they got plenty of laws where you found out somebody robbed someplace or whatever, they let him go. Um, and that's where it comes down to the determination of the judges of the courts. Not every court in New York or LA is doing that, but they have let out some people that went back out there and did some folly. So this has been happening in New York already. Not the no cash bail, but what they call catch and release. See, proponents of this new law claim it is necessary to remedy a long-standing discriminatory practice against minorities and the poor. In addition, the bail system was prejudicial and long overdue for reform. Opponents believe it is tantamount to a travesty, and it likens itself to a reality show at the latest episode, Cuomo Gone Wild. Further, that it won't be long before Cuomo, like California's Newsom, makes New York a sanctuary state and our sidewalks are littered with tents, urine, and feces. Lastly, it perhaps at that point that a mass exodus from New York will truly begin and people will realize that Cuomo's tenure was riddled with reprehensible and deplorable abuse of power, the likes of which the state of New York has never seen before. So, I mean, these things are already kind of in motion, but if you do look at the pattern, in all fairness, the states that are doing this is getting ran down. Here, this is California. Cite and release in California. How does it work? In California, city and cite and release is the practice of issuing a citation for suspected unlawful conduct, but not bringing the suspect to jail for a formal booking. Instead, suspects are released on the condition that they will make a signed promise to show up in court. How's it work in California? There's several situations where police officers have the discretion to not release a suspect. Many of them have to do with public safety. The person is so intoxicated they pose a danger to themselves or others. The person required medical care was unable to care for their own safety. The person refused to sign the citation. There are outstanding warrants for the suspect's arrest. The person could not provide adequate identification. The release of the person could jeopardize the prosecution of the offense, for example, allowing them to destroy evidence. So they've got reasons why they won't do a catch and release, and then they have reasons that they would let somebody go. So, like I said, in all fairness, if you do look at how ran down and the elevation of crime that's going on in New York, is because they do have lighter laws. they over there and in LA. I mean, just another damn rapper just got killed the other day or last week in Roscoe's broad day. So crime is definitely up in them places. So, like I said, in all fairness, we know that those things could be utilized, but we can't run with the headline as saying the purge is coming to Illinois. They signed the law. It's going down. All hell's about to break loose over there. You can commit whatever crimes you want, and they're not going to hold you. That's just not that's not that's not accurate. So will it increase crime? If you look at the pattern of New York and you look at the pattern of LA, probably. But let's not say it's going to be a purge. All right, we just got to be mindful of that. So let's look at this real quick. All right, Second Ezra 6:23 and 24. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth it, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not turn. So you're seeing how there's going to be, droughts, fights amongst friends. There's going to be iniquity that's going to be happening, right? Matthew 24. Let's read verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So that's why we're seeing so many more heinous crimes is happening in the earth right now. The smash and grabs and the robberies, the rapes. I mean, there's some cat man just cut the head off of his ex girlfriend up north, out here in the middle of the street, broad daylight. You know, like I said, but that's two rappers that got killed in the last month out here in LA alone. So we know that all of these things are going to be happening. But don't give Esau the credit to say, oh, it's because the purge law in Illinois. No, the Most High said that all this is going to happen eventually. But we have to be mindful to not run with the narratives that he puts out there because it's only going to make us look like they don't know what the hell they talking about, man. Forget everything that they saying. Second Ezra 15:16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. So there's going to be a time where people are not going to respect authority. They're not going to respect governments. They're not going to respect law. They're going to wild out. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So, as Esau would like to put out there, man, survival of the fittest. That's pretty much what's going to go on. A man shall desire to go to a city, not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So there's going to be uproars of the people. There's going to be riots. There's going to be mayhem. There's going to be death. That's understood. 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So the fact that those things are actually coming, uh, the fact that those things are coming, we gotta be aware of it, right? But Illinois, this is not going to be a quote unquote purge. Will it probably increase crime? Yes, I think so because I'm living in a state that kind of practices the same thing. They still have cash bail, but what they're basically doing is catching and releasing and determining who's going to stay locked up and who's not. So it all depends on how bad they want to collapse a place. But it's no coincidence that they're bringing this up a month before, or a month and some change before these primaries is coming up. It's been on the table for over a year. Why didn't they bring this up? How come this wasn't a talking point a year and a half ago? In February 2023 or 2021, Slocket. Over a year ago. If it was that big of a concern for the public, and why weren't these headlines coming out then? Everybody had every right. You had every minute to pop them up and say, "Hold on, you see what's happening in Illinois? You could have did that. They could have had this on the press releases come March of 2021. Look what's going on in Illinois. Is this good for, especially with a big city like Chicago? Do you really want that to go down in your state? You guys might want to go to your local officials and talk about it. No, they want to wait until it's election time, and then all of a sudden it's a big old issue. That's how they plot and plan and set these things up. My advice: do what Yahweh Shah said. uh Plain and simple. Luke 22:36. Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. If you don't have some protection, Christ said you better get some. I'm not telling you what and how you want to get. You may say, I don't believe in that. I'm scared of that. I'm not touching them. Okay. But your Messiah, our King, gave wisdom and said, it's just gonna get bad enough that you're gonna need to strap up. Now he's telling his disciples this. Look, wasn't Peter strapped when they came to seize Yahweh Shai? He cut the ear off of the priest. That means they was packing swords. So if the Messiah has no problem with you defending yourself, I don't either. So whether you decide to get a mace and a knife or a firearm, get you something to protect yourself, because we just got the reading through the last three scriptures that there is going to be uh, civil unrest and all hell is going to break loose, but not based upon some law that Esau put out there. All right, hopefully we clear on that. Hopefully we clear on that. Let's move on. Let's move on. We got a lot more to get to. So here we go. I've talked about it for the last few months now about Ammon and Moab and Esau's relationships dating back to ancient times. They've always had that particular allegiance. So it should be no surprise when Russian state TV is suggesting that they've got communications that North Korea is willing to offer 100,000 volunteers to come help wage war on the Ukrainians and help the Russians. If you leave it to um, all of the propaganda news and everything else that's out there, oh, Russia's taking big L's right now. They damn near about to lose, and Putin is about to wave the white flag. Or the Ukrainians is marching and taking back over territory. America's continually sending hundreds of millions of dollars worth of weapons and ammunition and billions of dollars worth of aid. And NATO was doing the same thing. And has anybody ever stopped to think about? Let me ask y'all this: with all of the ammunition, the weapons, they're even talking about sending them tanks and planes. Something that Slow Biden and them said that they wouldn't do. Let me see if I can find something real quick. Okay, so they're in discussions regarding sending these. Let's look at MSN. Okay. U.S. is wary of a deal to send fighter jets to Ukraine despite Kyiv government pleas. So let's just say that America sends fighter jets, let alone they getting tanks from Germany, they getting all the stuff, right? Don't you need to be trained to be able to operate this machinery? Don't you need to have knowledge about how these things work? You trying to tell me that they just drop them things off and the Ukrainians automatically know how to work them things? Does that make sense? Or would it be more feasible that those that are actually sending them say, watch out, watch out. We know how to operate these things. We'll take care of it. So in other words, If the Ukrainians don't even know how to operate this stuff, that means that the US is actually the ones flying them planes, operating them tanks. That means NATO is already involved. That's my assumption. And just looking at it, analyzing and saying, how the hell are you going to send equipment and weapons and all this other stuff to some damn Ukrainians? Many of which, remember, they were talking about citizen wars. They had to call their citizens in there to fight. They don't know how to operate none of them things. So who's behind these weapons? Who's training these troops that fast so they can just run right out there and get busy? It's my assumption that NATO was already involved, man. Damn near World War III done already started. It seems, because that don't even make sense. I mean, come on, you dropping off weapons and say, "Here, good luck," and all of a sudden, the Ukrainian troop they know how to operate this stuff automatically? Hell no. It takes weeks, months, and even years of training to operate certain machinery, weapons, navigation systems, radar tech, and all this other. We send he's sending high tech stuff over there. You telling me Vladimir that came from the farm jumps out and all of a sudden he knows how to operate a damn javelin missile rocket launcher? Come on, man. Anyway, so Russia's taking big L's, as they say, and North Korea says they're offering to send 100,000 troops to go help. So more war is going on. We've seen China talking about sending troops over there to help. Now North Korea's offering volunteer help. So the battle over there in the land of Gog and Magog is continuing on, and now Moab and Ammon are getting themselves involved. North Korea has offered to send 100,000 soldiers to bolster Russia's invasion attempt in Ukraine. Russian state TV has claimed the pariah state's offer of military assistance could not be immediately verified, but it was seized upon by Russian defense pundit Igor Korochenko. There are reports that 100,000 North Korean volunteers are prepared to come and take part in the conflict, Korochenko said on Russian Channel 1. So this is coming from Russian state TV. They're authorizing it. They're letting it out. It hasn't happened as of yet, but they're saying that this is what is prepared to be at the disposal of Putin if he wants it. If he wants it. Now, if he's taking these type of L's that we're reading about and seeing on the media, you would think he'd be like, hell yeah, come over here right now. We just read a story last week that he's supposedly going to mental hospitals, telling people, come on out, we need your help. People, mental hospitals and criminals saying, come on out. If you survive 6 months, you'll be free. That's what they're offering right now. So he's supposedly desperately seeking anybody and everybody who's gonna come out and help. We're getting our asses kicked over here. We need whoever to come out here and help. That's what they're telling us, right? Team Putin threatens a maniacal response to bitter war losses. So the humiliating defeats of Russia's armed forces in Ukraine are prompting the Kremlin's mouthpieces to propose increasingly violent tactics, lobbying for a quote scorched earth policy on state television. Russian pundits and experts guests have been openly comparing the Ukrainian battleground in Chechnya, Syria, and even the infamous Beslan school massacre, where Russian special forces killed many hostages along with their terrorist captors. According to Wednesday's broadcast of the state TV show 60 Minutes, military expert Igor Korchenko said, this is a new reality, which is why we should be acting quickly, harshly, and uncompromisingly. First of all, we need to scale up our strikes against critical infrastructure in such a way that the region after the next and one district after another, Ukraine is plunged into darkness. So, the state-run media and Russian forces are talking about, man, we need to just go ahead and up the ante and stop playing games. Will they do it? We'll see. Putin could order a nuclear strike to instill terror in Ukrainians and their allies following a collapse of the country's northeast, former NATO chief warned. So now you got NATO chiefs out there promoting and saying that Putin could strike with a nuclear attack because he's taking so many losses. Well, I've been saying that for a long time. How long is he going to sit back and constantly getting punked and getting beat up? Is he just going to roll it up and say, you know what, forget about it. We took a loss. I'm going to go ahead and fade off into darkness, man. You can replace me with a new leader. We're going to make peace and everything else. Or is he rather just say, you know what, the hell with it, man. We're going all out. We're Russia. We ain't having it. Now, these are all the opposition is saying this. Besides his, his little media group talking about we need to go to scorched earth. Everybody else is saying that Putin's going to talk. He might go to a nuclear strike against Ukraine and his allies. Why should we be cautious of that? Or what they're saying? Y'all remember this one, right? Uh, yeah. Well, Wikipedia is the easiest and the fastest. So, they got the actual. Nah, but if y'all remember the Operation Northwoods, this was a proposed document and plan in order to go to war with Cuba that they were going to self sabotage themselves. Um, Let me see if y'all remember this. Hold on. Yeah, Operation Northwoods was a proposed false flag operation against American citizens that originated within the U.S. Department of Defense and the United States government in 1962. The proposals called for CIA operatives to both stage and actually commit acts of violent terrorism against American military and civilian targets, blaming it on the Cuban government and using it to justify a war against Cuba. Did you hear that? So Esau, this is how maniacal and devilish the minds of the leadership of the kingdom of Esau is, man. When they were prepared to stage a false flag to justify and to start a war with Cuba, they said that they would commit violent acts against their own military and civilians and then blame it on the Cuban government. That's Operation Northwoods. So now when you see this, first thing you should be thinking about, hold on. Is it who would make the first strike? It's not beyond NATO and America to do that just to justify and get Russia out the way to get busy with and starting this war. And it ain't beyond the possibility that Putin says, you know what, the hell with it, man. We might as well just get it on. Either way, we know that war is imminent. Who starts it, how it, progresses is a whole nother thing. That's where discernment, that's where research, that's where mouth of two or three witnesses got to be kind of established. So NATO chief is saying if nukes come into play, Putin did it. Just like, Slow Biden said that it's Putin's fault that the gas is high when gas has already been going up well before the war started. So Rose Gottemoller, who was Deputy Secretary General of NATO for 3 years, said Putin may strike back in unpredictable ways, including using nukes after the rout of Kharkiv. So they're saying, well, he's getting beat down so bad, he might just fire back with nukes. Or maybe NATO might do it. That's the real intrigue. Let's move on. Look, John Bolton warns Putin is a lot closer to using nukes after Ukrainian success against Russian troops. So now you've got two NATO saying it. Oh, Putin's going to use nukes. And now you got America saying it. He's going to do it. He just might do it. Now, look at it. That's what I'm saying. You see a picture like this here. How do we know who this is? They're saying that this is the Russians. How do we know that's not the Ukrainians? They both the same people. You can't tell who take. They just take a photo out. You can't get no boots on the ground to take no pic. I think on Twitter and stuff like that, you got cast man that's going live and or filming stuff and it's going up on like Russian Twitter and stuff like that. You can find people talking to troops, and we're getting a whole nother story from them, boots on the ground. But you know, so from NATO and US, we're hearing, oh, nukes is on the way, very possible. You ain't heard it from Putin yet, have we? So the setup could be in effect. Who knows? Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations John Bolton warned Monday that a battered and bloodied Vladimir Putin could use nuclear weapons in a desperate effort to cling onto power. I mean, look at this dude's mustache, man. He only had no top lip. You gonna listen to this damn old heathen? But who knows? Who knows? That's what we got to be cautious of who's gonna make the first strike. Where's it gonna come from? Far be it from America and NATO to bomb their own and then say, "Oh, it wasn't us; it was them." I.e., 9/11. Oh, there's weapons of mass destruction. They're trying to destroy our way of life. They hate us in America. Really? You know that they had a Donald Rumsfeld um, the day before 9/11. He said that there was trillions of dollars unaccounted for and missing out of the Pentagon. And the next thing you know, next day 9/11 happens, and there's a rogue plane that flies and crashes into the Pentagon directly into where all of the intelligence and information could have been utilized to find where that money went. Coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Months after 9/11, George Bush sat down with Anwar al-Awlaki, who's supposed to be masterminding the 9/11 plot? Coincidence that they sat down and chopped it up and talked about the success? You're either with us or you're with the terrorists. Remember, Baby Bush said that? There's weapons of mass destruction. Have they found any as of yet? Oh, no, they hadn't. 20 plus years later, they finally got him up out of there. Then you see Geraldo doing interviews over there, guarding the poppy fields. The poppy fields are being utilized for the heroin trade. So they were over there protecting and selling, promotion of drugs. America over there drug dealing heroin, basically providing the damn the armories to protect the heroin fields, the heroin poppy fields. All of a sudden, the oil is booming. America then came up on all kind of oil. I mean, come on, man. So we see it. Is it possible? Very well, but we shall see. Who's gonna are they setting up Putin so that the nukes can fly and they go all out? Remember last week, even Ukraine said that the possibility of small scale nukes wasn't off the table. Remember that? I think I know I shared that article with y'all. See, look at this. Slow. Joe Lydon. Joe Lydon. Biden warns Putin against using nuclear or chemical weapons in Ukraine. This was 4 hours ago at the Boston Globe. So here America is the one keep talking about nukes, nukes. Look, Russia could use tactical nukes. Warns top Ukraine general. So it's coming from Ukraine, coming from NATO, coming from Biden, coming from John Bolton. The opposite side is the ones who keep talking about nukes, 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 nukes. And then you go Operation Northwoods, you saying, hold on, man. Are you saying that you're gonna do this? We know nukes got to come into play. That's prophecy. America's gonna definitely get hit. That's prophecy. Now the rest of the nations, they're gonna get involved with wars, but there's gonna be, scrap levels left for them. So the nuke talk is going on. We just gotta figure out which devil is lying. Because they all damn liars. But who's telling the greatest lie? That's what we're trying to figure out. Let's move on. Look at Germany seizes control of 3 Russian oil refineries ahead of looming EU deadline. Look, now this is the type of things that will make Putin say, you know what, man, they run around here, uh, I'm taking heavy losses over here. They keep threatening and warning me, or basically telling me don't use my nukes. That's only going to make me want to use my nukes. Now, remember, he cut off the oil pipelines and everything else going to Germany. He told them he was going to freeze them out. Germany messed around and just said, you know what? We taking your oil. Taking it. So they're backing him into even more of a corner. So Germany basically said, you ain't going to give it to us, then we're going to take it. And Germany's protected by NATO. Germany said, we ain't freezing, man. We taking what we want. So this is, look at it, an oil subsidiary in Germany, previously controlled by a Russian oil giant, is now under the control of the German government, it announced Friday. So there was a subsidiary oil company that was being controlled by a Russian company. And the government went and seized it and said, this is under government control now. Get up out of here. Because we're not gonna freeze. So now they punking them even more. So is that going to make Putin react? The German government said it took control of Rosneft, Deutschland GmbH, and RN Refining and Marketing GmbH, two companies owned up until now by multinational oil and gas company Rosneft. The government said the move would ensure continued oil production as the international community looks to cut its oil dependency on Russia. Germany's economy ministry said Friday the companies will be put under the control of the Federal Network Agency. The ministry also said that the agency will assume control of the company's shares in three refineries, PCK, whatever, Sweat, Myro, and Bainer Oil. So now they just anything Russian based, they snatched it up. They took it from them. Said this is government owned now, and under the agreement, they said well, we're just going to keep it for 6 months. We'll give it back after the winter's over. But other than that, man, we taking this. So, what would you do? Somebody robbed and took something from you, and said we'll give it back whenever we feel like it. Let's move on. Now, check this out. Fire and fury, dramatic moment. Putin stages massive games near the U.S. coast with 30 ships and nuke submarines and a warning to the West. Now, hold on. This is why we got to be, you got to pay the devil's in the details, man. I thought he was just taking heavy losses. I thought that he was in need of more troops going to the mental hospitals and to the jails. I thought that he's entertaining receiving help from North Korea because he's taking so many losses like that. How in the hell do you still got enough troops and time to be still running military drills off of near the coast of the near the coast of Alaska? You got 30 ships and nuke submarines and running massive drills and war games. It sounds like he's got room to spare. Like I'm over here already handling Ukraine, man. I'm still over here. I'm ready to concentrate on America now. See how they slip and let some of this stuff out, man? Because it's a threat to the West. Now they got to talk some real stuff. Oh, oops, he's over here running. Remember they was running doing war games down there with China in Venezuela, and they was concerned about that. If you so desperate and you need all of these damn troops and you need all hands on deck, but you got 30 ships over here, nuke subs and everything else, concentrating on the real big dog, America. Come on, man. This was so crazy. Look, didn't they just say he's taking humiliating losses? The humiliating defeats of Russia's armed forces in Ukraine are prompting the Kremlin's mouthpieces. Humiliating defeats. If I'm taking losses, hey man, it's all hands on deck. We're not running no drills over off the coast of Alaska. We're not running no drills anywhere else. Everybody's back here lining up so we can go ahead and mash out on Ukraine. How do they have time to do this? if they're taking these humiliating losses? Somebody's not telling the truth, man. But that's what happens when you're dealing with Esau and the damn devil. We- Look at it. Russia's armed forces have staged massive war games near the U.S. coast involving nuclear subs. So this is acknowledging how much closer warfare will begin between America, Russia, the NATO allies, and the Russian allies to get it cracking for World War III. So the closer they getting, the closer that America has to react. See, in the chilling show of force, missiles were pictured being fired in the drills close to the American state of Alaska as Vladimir Putin's forces suffered a humiliating setback in the Ukraine war. So here they're talking about he's taking setbacks, but he's over here running drills and wasting ammo. Really? Who do we to believe? Come on now. Around 30 ships took part in exercises in the Barents and Leptiv Seas, an area where Russia has stationed substantial military assets. They've got room to spare. Substantial military assets. They got all the way over in near the Bering Straits and all of that. Why not pull all those back and go help if that's really happening? Granite and Onyx missiles were seen being launched from the Northern Sea Route, a strategic passage for shipping connecting Europe and the Pacific. The Russian Defense Ministry said the missiles, quote, hit a complex sea target, imitating a detachment of warships of a mock enemy at a distance of over 400 kilometers. Fears have recently been raised that Russia has, quote, significantly increased. But he's running low on troops in Ukraine? Really? Fears have recently been raised that Russia has significantly increased its military presence in the Arctic with the murderous dictator looking to control trade routes and natural resources there. All right. Figure out the folly, man. The devil's in the details. You see this damn bastards, man. China Z heads abroad to promote strategic roles. So again, uh we see the relationship between Esau and Moab now. They saying that this is the first time that Xi Jinping is actually left out of China. Notice they usually people come to him. He left out to go meet up with Putin so that they can chop it up and they can start discussing more issues regarding their BRICS economy because they're trying to separate from the U.S. dollar. They no longer want to have to utilize, the dollars, the world's reserve currency. Everything is in dollars. So all the currency is based off the dollars, so to speak. And they're saying we don't want to be attached to that no more. We want to establish our own beast system. That's what they're trying to do. So this is where their allegiance and their policies are a threat to the Great Horror, NATO, and so forth and so on. That's why in Revelation 17 it says that the 10 horns is going to come against the Great Horror because of the struggle for power. Who wants to lead the world? Everybody's talking about the New World Order. Everybody, and Esau is definitely going to be the head of it all. That's just prophesied. He's already accepted his power from Satan, according to Revelation 13. Let's go there real quick. Let's get that. Oops, my bad. Let's get that real quick because actually first let's go to Luke. I think I want to go to Luke 4. Yeah, now look at this. So this is Yahweh Shai. Once he came off of his 40-day fast, coming out the wilderness, now he's got to sit back and he's got to deal with good old Satan. As soon as he comes out, he's right on point. That's why in the upcoming month, we got Day of Atonement kicking in. For those have kept it or are keeping it during that time, you're gonna see during your fast, Satan's gonna be in your ear, trying to distract you, trying to remind you of your sins, trying to tempt you to get back into doing your same old you. Soon as you leave, the challenge is, okay, I feel good. I feel refreshed. I feel like, I prayed at the mercy of the Most High and my prayers were heard, that I receive a reprieve, that I get some reconciliation with the Father, that I can, rebuild myself back up in the spirit of the Most High and Yahweh Shai, so I can go out there and serve him the best that I can. And guess what? Within 24 hours, man, Satan going to be right there, man, to distract you and throw you off your path and make you, fall 10 steps back again. So this shows you how the power of the fasting works, and how Satan is right there ready to tempt you as soon as you get off. So let's read this real quick. And Yahweh being full of the Holy Spirit returned from Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, being 40 days tempted of the devil. That's how you know. He's out there fasting, man, and every day Satan was like, hey, hello, you still fasting? Remember, what's up? Let's talk. Let me entice you with this. Let me throw your mind off of this. Let me distract you with that. And in those days he did eat nothing, and when they were ended, he afterward hungered. And the devil said unto him, if thou be the son of the Most High, command the stone that it be made bread. So now, first temptation. Oh, you the son of the Most High, right? You can do whatever. You've been given all power. You've been given commandment over the angels, the host of heaven. You got it. If you the son of the Most High, make the stones bread. Then let me see, and I'll believe. But what Yahweh Shai hit him with? And Yahweh Shai answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth. He hit him back with the scriptures. He hit him back with the scriptures, right? Hold on one second, y'all. Okay. Yeah, he hit him back with the scriptures in Deuteronomy. I think it's 8. So it says, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. So what does that teach us? And this is just off subject, but just in the spirit. What's that teach us when Satan comes to us, man? We got to try to recognize and recollect scripture. We got to think about the righteousness of the Most High. We got to think about what would Yahweh Shai do in this particular situation. But the first defense that makes Satan flee is to hit them scriptures. You got to get back into your reading. You got to jump back over and say, man, if I can't remember a scripture, man, let me just pull out. Let me read in the Psalms. Let me read in the Proverbs. Whatever the situation that, arises to you. Let me go delve into the law. Let me make sure that what I'm thinking or not thinking or what I was about to do was lawful or unlawful. And that's going to make Satan slither back a little bit and say, ooh, he hit me back with the sword of the Lord. Now the battle begins. See, did he stop? No, he didn't stop. Verse 5, and the devil taking him up into a high mountain showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. Did you hear that? All the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. So Yahweh Shai, what did he show him? He showed him Rome. He showed him Great Britain. He showed him Germany. He showed him France. He showed him Russia. He showed him, China. He showed all the kingdoms of the world. He showed all the future kingdoms. France, Spain. All the future kingdoms of the so-called white man was all shown to him. He's seen the dark ages. He's seen it all. Black nobility. Y'all seen it all. He said, but look, I'm showing this all to you. But guess what? Verse 6. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. So that again shows you the earth been given into the hand of the wicked. Satan's running the earth, right? So what did Satan tell Yahweh Shai? He said, and the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them. So that lets you know, man, all the kingdoms of the earth, man, is satanically influenced at some point in time. Some wickedness is always there. Why? Because it's not being ran by righteousness. It's not being governed by the laws of the Most High. So all kingdoms of the earth, be it from Egypt to Assyria, Babylon, Greece, Persians and Medes, Rome, moving forward into all of the advanced kingdoms after that. He said, man, Satan said, it's been given unto me to control the whole earth. I'm running all of that. And he said, and I can give you this same power. But what he say? If thou wilt worship me, all shall be thine. Right? Now let's go to Revelation 13 real quick. Revelation 13. So the negotiations have began. And let's read what I want to do. I want to read let's read let's read verse 2. Okay. So it says, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear." So this is speaking about the Greeks coming into power under Alexander the Greek, the first inclination of Esau's power, right? And he's coming in fierce and stomping out all his competition like a bear. It tells you that he put all the nations in subjection under the Greek rule, right? He said he had his mouth as the mouth of a lion, so he's going to be boisterous, loud, powerful in his speech. What he enacted, you see Antiochus in First Maccabees, the first chapter, in the 41st verse. He said everybody's going to be Greeks. They're going to leave off their religious customs. If they don't, you're going to be subject to get put to death, so forth and so on, right? It says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So, who's the dragon? Who's the dragon? And that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, who deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So now Satan has been given dominion over the earth, the prince of the power of the air, as the scriptures say, and he's got agents working with him. And Satan said, well, anybody that bows down to me, I'll give him power over the nations. I'll give him powers over the kingdoms. It's been given unto me. So when Yahweh said, man, get thee behind me, Satan, how the hell are you going to offer me something that's already mine? Guess who slid it up and said, I'll do it? You guessed it. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he said, I'll do it. All the kingdoms of the earth, I can have power and dominion over all of them. Let me in. I want in. And now we see why he's an agent of Satan. This is why we call him the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is why he operates under such manners of deceptiveness, wickedness, and heinous mentality of crimes and against humanity and Israel, because he's been given power, his seat, and great authority that is given to him by the dragon, otherwise the devil that we just read in Luke 4, that said all the kingdoms of the earth, all their power and glory has been given to him, and he'll give it to whoever bows down to him. So the white man is the damn devil, and he's working for the devil, and he's bowed down to receive power of Satan. Why I go off like that? Because this is why you see China and Moab constantly having to go to Esau. That's his route to power. You know, people talking about China's going to be the next world power by 2030 or 2035. No, he's not. He can't do jack squat without Esau. This is why he is relying upon. He had to choose either one. Either you're going to ride with slow Biden or you can ride with Putin. But either way, you're going to have to ride with one of your ancient compadres. Esau. That's why Moab and Ammon is always linked with Edom. So he chose Putin. So this is why he said, well, if anyone that I'm going to get up off of my throne in China to go travel for, it'll be Putin. He ain't left in who knows how long to go travel. But he sure left to go meet up with him because why? They're trying to establish, and he wants in on some of that power that's been given to Esau. President Xi Jinping is using his first trip abroad since the start of the pandemic to promote China's strategic ambitions at a summit with Russia's Vladimir Putin and other leaders of a Central Asian security group. The Chinese leader is promoting a global security initiative announced in April following the formation of the Quad by Washington, Japan, Australia, and India in response to Beijing's more assertive foreign policy. Xi has given few details, but U.S. officials complain it echoes Russian arguments in support of Moscow's attack on Ukraine. So even though he's giving few details and they haven't been able to get a lot of information out of what was being met on, they're saying, well, you know that he's over there talking about the war. You know that he's over there saying that it's so they're in support of the war. Hold on one second. Okay. So they're already paranoid and saying, well, they must be talking about linking up together for this war. Z69 is due to meet Putin in Uzbekistan this week at a summit of the 8 member Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which includes Uzbekistan, India, and Pakistan. China and Russia share the same stance in opposing the Western practice of imposing sanctions and overthrowing regimes of other countries, said Li Jin. So they're acknowledging we're not with what the West has been doing, imposing sanctions, overthrowing regimes of other countries. What did they share in common? Well, the West is over here imposing sanctions, backing up Taiwan, acknowledging for regime change, acknowledging and trying to make sure that they stay separate and they're staying a sovereign island away from China, even though they are part of China. Same thing with Ukraine and Russia. So they're saying we share a common enemy, a common thread, and we see the same practices being shown by uh, America. This is a problem. We might as well come together. What they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Well, that's the rules that they living by. All right. So they've been meeting. They just met earlier this week, trying to figure out how they're going to try to establish their own world order, their own global currency, how they're going to try to attack, what they're going to strategize in regards to future war tactics or whatnot. They're dealing with all of this. That's why they said the global security initiative. Well, who's under fire? Who's under war? Who needs security? Well, China's saying, look, if we get in too deep, we're going to have to establish a battle plan of defense because America's going to come at us when we get at Taiwan. America's going to come at you if you go too far with Ukraine, and NATO's going to be on board. So we need to start establishing who's on our side, who we riding with. So we see Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan. We've already heard about Iran, right? Some of the South American countries are jumping on board. Cuba, Venezuela, I think Argentina. They're lightweight in regards to war, but they provide stationary places that can get these particular nations closer to America for warfare. They're being used more for uh, geopolitical reasons than anything. So let's move on. Now look at this, man. This is what has been pretty wild of late. Hold on one second. I know everybody been seeing what's been going on with this uh, quote unquote humanitarian crisis, right? Now let's get a couple scriptures before we can continue on with it. Esau, man, and our people, so desirous to get over here to the land of milk and honey. They want a part of the great horde too. And people for our brothers and sisters, man, from Venezuela is being used as pawns in particular. You know, uh people coming from our brothers and sisters coming from Haiti, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico. I mean, it's Edomites down there from Ukraine and various other places. You got Ishmael down there at the border and the whole nine. But they're continually using. There's plenty of other nations down there too, but they're always using the Northern Kingdom as pawns in the game, and it's all being politicized, man. They bouncing these people all around the place, man. They playing ping pong with them. The Republicans are using them against the Democrats. They sending them to Kamala Harris's house. They dropping off buses of Jakes at her house, saying, "Oh, you want the borders open here? You deal with them." Florida sending them up to Martha's Vineyard, which is like a damn $1 million compound getaway for these rich Edomites that love to live lavishly on their own little private little island in Martha's Vineyard. Florida, man, the cat from Florida sent 50 of them. Private plane, dropped them off and said, "Here, you little rich Edomites, man, y'all love them so much. Here, you deal with them." But they're doing it all for political posturing, man. Look at this. Sirach 13:6. It says, if he have needed thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? Now, that was that was interesting because hold on. I had a now look at this. Now before, and I hate to even play this damn either my bro. When this commercial's over, I'm gonna try to skip through it. But in the meantime, let me read this again. If he have needed thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? So we know that Esau utilizes and shames our people all the time. And here they are using, what is this? Oh, here we go. My bad.
Accounts from the migrants who arrived last night make it clear that they were lied to again and again and fraudulently induced to board the planes. They were told there was a surprise present for them.
Now this is supposed to be some Edomite lawyer who cares so much about these migrants, who cares so much about these Venezuelans who were quote lied to. Now they said that Ron DeSantis, the governor down there in Florida, said, "Hey, jump on these planes. We got a surprise for you. There's work over there. We got housing ready for you. Everything's set. So once you touch down, everything's waiting for you. If he have needed thee, he will use thee." Esau, man, is something else, man. So here's the Lord. She's speaking out. But listen to this, broad.
And that there would be jobs and housing awaiting for them when they arrived. This was obviously a sadistic lie. Not only did those responsible for this stunt know that there was no housing and no employment.
But wait a minute now. What are they promoting, and what's the image that they're out there promoting to them? Period. In America, why are they flooding to the borders, and why are they trying to get up in here anyway? Because it's being perceived that once they get over here, all their dreams will come true. Jobs is waiting for you. Housing is waiting for you. Food is waiting for you. No more wars. No more drugs. Everything is over here in America, man. The great whore got her legs wide open for you. Come on in, get a piece. It ain't just Ron. He's embodying what America is promoting to the Northern Kingdom that's coming over here all the time. So when they get over there, here they are believing, oh, well, more of my dreams can be fulfilled in this part of the state. Cool. I'll jump on there because I'm over here to get work and trying to get paid and eat and send money back home and take care of my family anyway. That's the whole mission that they're trying to get to America, period. Whether they went to Florida, Martha's Vineyard, New Mexico, Chicago, LA, if they went to Arizona, they all think the same way. So she's trying to say, oh, this is a sadistic lie that came from Governor Ron DeSantis. This is the lie that Esau puts out there anyway. They don't know when they get over here, the cost of living is exorbitant. They don't know that they're going to come over here and get taken advantage of because they ain't got the right paperwork. They don't know that they're going to get over here and still experience gang violence and extortion and everything else from the local gangs once they come over here and start working small little vendor jobs and stuff like that. They don't know that they're going to actually have to, witness drug abuse. It's same stuff they had going on there, just maybe not as frequent or just overt and blatant because some of the police and military's paid off over there in certain countries that they're coming from. But everything that they're leaving is still right over here. But there still is quote unquote opportunity. So this is what the great hope, the great whore says. All the merchants of the earth going to come over here and live deliciously off of her the wine of the wrath of her fornication or whatnot. So she's trying to politicize it. 50 people they dropped off in the county or city or whatever Martha's Vineyard is. I don't know if they consider it a city or not in Massachusetts. I think it's a city. But this is where all, these little elite Edomites live. So they dropped these 50, 50 jakes off and was like, here, y'all got enough money to take care of them. You love these migrants so much. Y'all all so liberal with your Democratic butts. Go ahead on and take care of them. And they freaked out, said, man, this is a humanitarian crisis and we can't deal with this. We need them up out of here. But let's finish this.
Awaiting the migrants, they also very intentionally chose not to call ahead to any single office authority on Martha's Vineyard so that even the most basic human needs arrangements could be made, ensuring.
Now, mind you, I believe the article said, which says attorneys for migrants sent to Martha's Vineyard. So how all of these 50 migrants who haven't been, given proper paperwork, so forth and so on, how were they able to hire attorneys is beyond me. They're saying both of them are attorneys. She looks more or less like, she's there for image because she doesn't say anything. Esau sits up there and talks all damn day talking about how much they care for and standing in arms with the migrants and how much they care for and how bad. Listen, man. If anything, the move would have been to have her speak on behalf of her own people. But no, Esau wants all the damn glory. Esau wants to constantly stick their nose in it. If he have needed it, he'll use it. Be it Ron DeSantis or be it this damn cracker that's over here acting like she cares so much about these migrants. She's just trying to get paid, man. She's trying to get her face out there so that she can be, the next famous lawyer who went to bat for the migrants. The move is let her talk and let her talk in Spanish if you really trying to make a point. But no, Esau, this broad man, she got to be the one to speak on every damn thing.
That no help awaited the migrants at all was the entire point.
That's if she's an attorney. The article says attorneys. So we're assuming both of them are attorneys. If she's not an attorney, then she damn sure is just there for atmosphere. She's damn there just there as a visual aid. And Esau's out here talking like come on, man.
They were provided with a cartoonishly simple map of Martha's Vineyard and the United States and a brief brochure containing snippets.
Why was she smiling showing that map?
And the United States and a brief brochure containing snippets.
Now you notice when she lowered it down, all of a sudden now she got to try to make a serious face again. But when she had it up to her damn mouth, she's smiling. What's that about? See where's that? And look at her in the back. Look at Moab in the back. She's smiling. What's so funny?
The United States and a brief brochure containing snippets
now let me be serious.
from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts website and instructions to change their address with USCIS when they relocated. This is especially troubling. Told by the migrants that they had no address in the U.S. According to the paperwork provided to them, the migrants are required to check in with ICE office nearest to the fake address chosen for them by DHS or be permanently removed from the United States, with some required to check in as early as this coming Monday. It could not be clearer that this is an attempt to ensure that these people are ordered removed, even as they try as hard as they can to comply with the instructions provided to them.
You would think that if this is a humanitarian crisis and you care so much about these people, you wouldn't have to read from a damn script, man. You'd be speaking from the quote unquote heart. How much you really care for these people. This broad got to read from a damn script, man. Get up out of here.
There is no other reason to list as someone's mailing address a homeless shelter in Tacoma, Washington, when they ship him to Massachusetts. It is sickeningly cruel, throwing obstacles in the way of people fleeing violence and oppression, some of whom walked through 10 countries in the hopes of finding safety. It is shameful and inhuman.
It's shameful that you don't even know that off the rip, and you gotta be reading it from a damn script. What are you talking about? This is that fake humanitarian, fake love that the so-called white man be putting out there, putting out his little white cave broad out here, man. She trying to act like she cares for the migrants and she's gonna fight hard for them and all of that. Meanwhile, you got a sister right next to you who could be the damn mouthpiece that really could be make things shake and move. But no. Esau always wants the glory, man. And then you're going to see these damn migrants and these Northern Kingdom cats is going to be running to the rescue, talking about how much the white man cared for him, how much they spoke out for him. Man, the white lawyer, she was the one that did everything. What? If this ain't a publicity stunt on both ends, man, give me a break.
Many of these victims were deprived of medical care despite clear existing injuries.
So you know all of that. Why is it taking so long for you? How hard is it for you to give them a place over here? You got them jammed down there in cages down there in Mexico, detention centers with aluminum blankets and frozen burritos, and them sleeping on top of each other. We just seen what happened with the Haitian migrant issue a year ago, getting chased around on horses. They were sleeping under bridges, 15,000 of them. They were sending them all back. And we just got through seeing all of the corruption that's going on. They're still protesting over there in Haiti. People are dying for a new opportunity. And you're supposed to be the great whore that doesn't mind allowing everybody come in and get a piece. But no, they got to go through all this trouble. You claiming they're going through all this hell. And now once they get here, they're getting the runaround. I mean, when doesn't America give you the runaround, man? You get the runaround when you calling customer service about your damn phone bill. That's the way that things go here. You getting to run around when you got to go to the damn market and you trying to find what you need. What aisle is? I think it's in aisle 11. I'm looking for bread. Oh, you go over bread. No, man, this is crackers, man. I need the bread. What aisle is bread? Check over in aisle 7. Don't you work here? Well, yeah, man, but I just work in the back in stocks, man. I don't mind. Run around. That's the way of America, man. Confusion. It's Babylon. So to act like, they're getting put in confusion, yes, because they're being utilized as political pawns, man. They moving these people all around, man. Esau don't give a damn about about our people. And they're all trying to capitalize for their own gain. She's trying to do it so that she can elevate her face on these TV screens so that she can get known to be some civil rights humanitarian lawyer, got famous for fighting for the 50 migrants got dropped off in Martha's Vineyard. Governor DeSantis and Governor Abbott down there in Texas and Florida are shipping them all around, using them as political pieces, dropping them off like they trash in front of their political opponents' yards and their stomping grounds. This is sick, man.
These are human beings who were deprived of basic human rights. To the people who find themselves, these wonderful people who find...
Who she look back at? The white woman here? You talking to her? You talking to him, maybe? Who's she talking to? She looked back as if there's like a crowd of migrants behind her.
Themselves
a crowd of the Northern Kingdom behind her.
These wonderful people who find...
Esau's a damn fool, man. Ain't nobody back there, man, but their own damn people and some more heathens. Come on. Y'all seen that.
Themselves plane wrecked on our island. I have a message for all of them. You are not alone. We have your backs.
Okay, so...
We are proud to be...
Okay, well, hold on. So why are you trying to get rid of them? You're proud. You got their backs on your island. Your little private island in Martha's Vineyard. So then make some room for them. It's only 50 of them. They act like it's 500. 50. What's she gonna do?
We have your backs. We are proud to be here for you. And we've got you.
Okay, so that means they're not gonna get rid of them? So what's the problem then? We've got you. We are proud. Okay, all you damn millionaire and billionaire Edomites are living over there, man. Make room then. Make room. Instead of having some damn press conference and talking about how bad it is having these damn spics over here. They dropped their trash off on us. We didn't ask for this. We didn't get a common courtesy call. Get out of here.
If the intention of those who perpetrated this horrendous act was to create a crisis, you have failed. Their demeanor is kind. Their demeanor is grateful.
All right, man.
And their demeanor is just that they want to be doing everything right.
Enough of the devil, man. Enough. Okay, get out of here. Let's go back to the scripture, man. So if he have needed thee, he's gonna deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. We have your back. We're with you. So they hear one lie from her. They get to Florida. The first lie they hear DeSantis saying, "Yeah, yeah, we're gonna ship you over here to this island, beautiful island, Martha's Vineyard. They got jobs for you waiting. They got everything waiting for you, man. Get up on this bus. 50 of y'all go up there. Everything's good. Oh, put you in hope. Now you get over there. They jumping up there saying, "What the hell? Where all these damn Mexicans come from?" Not knowing they Venezuelan, but of course the first thing they're gonna say Mexican. What they doing all over here? Oh hell no. What they say, hey, governor told us come over here. We got work. No, no, there's no jobs for you here, Jose Maria. Get up out of here, little spicks. Don't worry, we're gonna take care of it. We got a lawyer. She's gonna go on TV and say that she with you. But meanwhile, you guys make sure you get all your stuff because you going back on that bus. We're gonna probably throw you in a little homeless shelter until we can find a place for you. But there's no jobs here. There's nothing here for you. You don't fit in. Oh, but you put us in hope. We are with you. We are standing by you. We're going to get rid of you niggas. And you speak. That's like basically come on, man. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? What do you need? You need a job, you need clothing, you need papers, we're gonna give it all to you. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's a humanitarian crisis. They trying to get rid of. We go to Psalm 10. They trying to get rid of these Jays. Don't nobody want them. We read the scripture last week in Jeremiah about us being outcasts, and nobody won us, man. Look, Isaiah 10, Salakia, Psalms 10, and verse 9 and 10. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He catch the poor, and when he draweth them into his nest. So they're all entrapping these Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, man. Lying in wait. Oh yeah, come on over. Welcome to America. Oh, you can't be here. We're throwing you on the bus. You going over here. Oh, you can't be over here. We're gonna throw you on a plane, send you over there. Catching the poor. They best believe the child trafficking is going on. Best believe that they snatching up some of these sisters in here, man, raping them, doing whatever they want with them. Best believe some of them is getting brought into situations to work for low wages and oppressing them and threatening them, saying if you say anything, I'm gonna get your butt deported back to where you came from. So drawing them into the net. Well, where's the net? America's the net. The great whore, the enticing woman that's draping herself in scarlet and purple and fine jewels and making herself look so presentable for everything. But meanwhile, she's an open sepulchre of death. He croucheth and humbleth himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. So once he gets a hold of them, he's gonna start putting them to hard labor and to death and locking them up. And then they already go out there and put out there and say, "Oh, all of them is criminals. All of them is murderers. All of them." So everywhere that they go, they're gonna be rejected everywhere. Man, we're gonna get that in Jeremiah next. Hold on. Psalm 64 and 5. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? So here they are utilizing these brothers and sisters, man, as political pawns, man, shipping them all over the place, putting them in hope, laying snares privately. That's entrapment. When you go over there to Florida and the damn governor says, "Oh, we're going to send you over here to this place. Once you hop on this bus, they got jobs and everything waiting for you." Knowing that when they get over there, ain't nothing happening, man. And they're gonna say, "Who sees them? Who sees their wickedness? Who sees the evil that they're doing?" Let's read down Jeremiah 30. It says, "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion whom no man seeketh after." You understand? The Most High said he's going to bring restoration and healing to our nation, man. Why? Because of how we've been treated here. So our people over there, scrambling around, wondering why don't nobody want you. Well, this is why. Nobody's seeking after you. The little white broad talking about, we're with you. These are nice and kind people, and we stand next to you. Well, then what's the problem? You should have been already setting up shop and telling them, good. We'll find places for them, man. We'll go ahead and give them jobs and help them get their paperwork together and da da da. Da. No, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. Let's look at this. Martha's Vineyard declares a humanitarian crisis over influx of just 50 migrants. It's only 50 of them. They acting like it's 500, 5,000 and got dropped off on their little island. Republicans slam liberal island's pathetic reaction and ask, what about the thousands arriving in Texas every single day? See how they just talking about each other? They ain't talking about humanitarian crisis. It's about Republicans, Democrats. It's about who's going to get these elections, who's going to stay in power. Oh, we don't want all them damn spics over here, them wetbacks. You deal with them. Keith Chattanooga, a county commissioner for the area, who previously said that he would have loved to see the affluent area turn into a haven for migrants, has slammed Governor Ron DeSantis. So they wanted to go send what they considered the human roaches over there, man. They wanted to take over, and I believe they got rid of them. Hold on, see, look at this. Look, Massachusetts governor calls up the National Guard. National Guard over 50 Martha's Vineyard migrants, man. They calling the National Guard for just 50 people. Can you imagine? And then they said, look, Massachusetts called in the National Guard on Friday to deal with the quote humanitarian crisis. That show you, man, these little rich Edomites, man, how much power they got. It's a small island off the coast of damn Massachusetts, and they got that much pull to say, we got 50, 50 damn spics and wetbacks over here, man. They got to go. Bring in the National Guard. Got rid of them that fast. That locals claim was set off by just 50 migrants flown into Martha's Vineyard by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis before the deep blue state shifted the new arrivals at Cape Cod. So I thought they loved them. They was there. They shipped them to the next spot. Now they're in Cape Cod. The National Guard members will supplement work already underway in the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, Governor Charlie Baker's office said in a statement. Happening now, migrants flown into Martha's Vineyard by Florida governors are boarding buses. They'll be heading to Joint Base Cape Cod, according to officials. 125 Mass National Guard members are being activated to assist. So what did they do? They got rid of him up out of Martha's Vineyard and sent them to a National Guard base in Cape Cod. Look, bye. Get out of here. We stand by you. We stand side by side with you. Remember she said all of that? And how fast were they up out of there? Here they go. We're standing with you. We're strong. What did she say all that? Where's she at now? That's Esau for you, man. A damn devil and a liar. So they said, man, get up out of here. You can't be in Martha's Vineyard. We're going to send you over here to this military base in Cape Cod. Adios. That's the devil for you, man. Let's move on. Texas sends 2 busloads of migrants outside the home of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. I always get her name wrong, but who cares? Right? So they're doing the same thing. They sent them over here on her too. But they dropped them off at her crib. So they playing dirty. Let's move on. Look at it. Top FBI official who investigated Trump's Russia links is himself being investigated over ties to Moscow. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. So, same cast man that they were sending after Trump. This how you know, man, a white man speak before it come, man. Everything that he says somebody else is doing, he's actually doing. Proverbs 11 and 9. A hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. A hypocrite brings nothing but destruction to those that surround him. FBI is full of hypocrites. Didn't they just have the top FBI agent resign for covering up the Hunter Biden laptop situation? Same information as in that laptop that could link him with having illegal deals with China and with Russia and Ukraine. This guy gets busted and he's about to face 5 years. What about Hunter Biden? Hunter Biden under his pops, slow Biden, because he's a liar. Top FBI official who investigated Trump's Russia links is himself being investigated over ties to Moscow. Remember all that time they kept talking about Trump? Oh, he's got Russia links. Russia colluded the election. He's riding with the Russians. Meanwhile, this dude is actually doing it, and he's the one supposed to be investigating it. Had business dealings with sanctioned oligarch Oleg Deripaska and could face up to 5 years in jail. Oh, where is Hunter Biden at again? Where's his laptop at again? Can we get that open? Can we get at slow Biden? Can we get at Hunter Biden and his crackhead ass? No. Slow Biden got some powerful cats in his corner, man. I'm telling you, because he's involved in a lot of stuff, but they won't touch him. Very interesting. I mean, 'cause, he's the perfect little stooge and puppet, man. So the elites know he's gonna do whatever they tell him to do. They can't afford to lose him. Let's move on. Even the liberal media is calling out Biden over yesterday's premature victory last speech on inflation, with CNN even cutting away, saying it's hard to be celebratory. So slow Biden is running around waving his flag, saying, "I'm look, I've stopped inflation. Gas is down. Everybody love that, right? Yeah. Look, jobs is up. Everybody love that, right?" And everybody's saying, "What are you? You still out here lying again?" That's why I'm slow Leiden. That's my new name for him. Slow Leiden. We're making progress, Biden said. We're getting other prices down as well. We have more to do. We're getting there. Typical friendly media outlets noted that the president's celebration was ill-timed. The yearly pace of inflation dipped slightly to 8.3% in August, with only a 0.1% rise in prices between July and August. The core consumer price index, which is a better measure of long-term trends, showed a larger than expected increase to 6.3. President Slow Leiden touted progress on inflation Tuesday, even though the latest government data reinforced concerns. So, what else is he supposed to say when you got elections coming up? He's got to make it look like everything's good. He's got to make it look like he's doing a great job. And they said that most of the public that is now in support of Biden is just because gas is going down. They're happy that gas is going down, and they're patting him on the back saying, "Thanks, slow Biden." Inflation may be slowing, but food prices are still going through the roof, CNN wrote. Look at the headlines over here. New York Times, sobering inflation report dampens Biden's claims of economic progress. USA Today, is Biden responsible for dipping inflation? President's victory lap is premature, experts say. New York Post, CNN cuts away from Biden inflation reduction party as stocks plunge. Bloomberg, Biden celebration of economy skips inflation that haunts it. That's four witnesses right there, and the fifth one being the Daily Mail. Everybody else is saying this dude is mad. He didn't stop, and we're not cutting away. And I mean, we're not making great grounds on inflation. Yeah, we're not getting there. You're speaking prematurely, slow Leiden. Calm down, man. Stop trying to gain favor so that you can hopefully maintain the House of the Democrats can maintain the House. and giving you more hopes to run again in 2 more years. He's gonna lie to say whatever he can get by with, man. Let's move on. Look, inflation on food price is the highest since 1979. I know everybody feels it when you go to the store, man. That $100, $200 grocery budget that you used to have ain't buying the same thing that it used to a year ago. Ain't buying the same thing they used to buy 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Hell no. You coming away with probably half of what you used to be able to buy for that. Argentina inflation hit 79%, ahead of a likely rating hike. So they're talking about how bad Argentina is. They damn near about to collapse, man. People can't survive out there. Inflation 78.5% in August, almost certainly cementing another central bank interest rate hike as early as this week. Let's drop down here. Clothing prices rose 109% from a year earlier. Over 100%. That the cost of your clothes went up. It ain't like it was, it's a 5%, 10% more for your clothes. 109%. So if my calculation is correct, or if I'm understanding this correctly, right? If you got a pair of let's say a shirt costs you $10, it's going to go up uh another what, $10.90. So just do the math. I don't want to pull off no wrong numbers, man. You know, me and my math ain't always on point. So let me make sure. Let's say 10 times 109%. Yeah, $10.09. So the shirt that was $10 last year now is $20. While food costs increased 80%. Do the math. Just throw out a regular number, man. Loaf of bread, that's $4. It's gonna cost you another what? 80. It went up 80% out there. So let's look at 4 times 80%. So that's gonna go up another $3. Can you imagine? $3.20. Loaf of bread, $4. Now it's $7.20 in Argentina. And it says the worst may be to come since the government raised regulated utility prices in September, which will have a knock on effect in several sectors. So that's just normal clothes and food. They ain't even talked about the utilities and energy. That's going up as well. They're saying on average, everything has gone up almost 79%. This is why they're out there talking to China and Russia saying help. Monetary tightening won't suffice to cool price gains in the near term. Energy subsidy cuts and pass through from faster peso depreciation will push inflation near 90% by the end of the year. They say everything is going to go up almost 90% by the end of the year in Argentina. And that's happening in a lot of countries all over the place. See, America's going to be the last one to get. We're getting it, but see, we're talking, 4, 6%. So that still makes an impact on what we see at the pump, at the your electric and energy bills. We're seeing it with the food prices. Now, imagine if they when it gets to what they're talking about in Argentina, people are gonna lose their damn minds, man. Gonna lose their minds, and it's gonna happen. It's going around worldwide. The scriptures. Why else would the scriptures not be speaking about famines? Why not in Revelation 6 about the third seal? I believe it's the third seal about buying a measure a week for a penny, which is pretty much a day's salary, living off of rations, right? Revelation 16, all of this is all going to be happening worldwide. We're just seeing the smaller third world type countries getting impacted first. But as we move forward, there's not going to be some big old savior economist that's going to pop out of nowhere and say, "I got it, I figured it out." We get everybody back to normal. All inflation goes down, money values up, gold is up, crypto's up, stock markets is booming. That's is not going down, man. This thing is a wrap worldwide, man, and it's just slowly trickling until it hits every corner of the earth. All the third world countries is already wrecked. Africa, the Middle East, South and Central America, um, uh, Russia's getting hit economically, China's getting hit economically, India, Pakistan. We just seen what happened in Sri Lanka. It's all over the place. The last one getting hit is America because America's running every damn thing. But even it can't stop the beast from devouring itself and everything in its past, man. Let's move on. Look, France warns natural gas prices will rise 500%, electricity 1,000% next year. So there's not going to be some big old change that's going to happen in 2023 that everything's going to get turned around and be back to normal. They're saying it's only going to get worse. Europe, we see that over there they getting hit. From France to Germany to England to the Netherlands, all over the place. France is saying their gas prices are going to 500%, and electricity 1,000%. Can you imagine? Let's just see electricity. Let's do the math. Let me look. Let me use my calculator. Let's say you were used to your bill being $100 for your electricity. Multiply that by 1,000%. Let me see. No, that's hold on. 100 times 1,000%. Gas prices. This thing wasn't calculating right. Hold on. 100 times. That's $1,000. So your $100 bill is gonna be $1,000. Do the math on the gas prices. 500%, man. You talking about ready to collapse everything over there? Now you see why they keep utilizing all of these tools to collapse, break down, and destroy, so they can say, "Oh, we need a great reset, or we need to set things back in a new way." Guess what? We have a new world order that we can organize out of this chaos that's been happening suspiciously, somehow through war, somehow through plague, somehow through economic collapse, somehow through various protests, and somehow all these things just happen to be happening at all the same time. We don't know how or where, but we have a solution. Really, that's what they call the Hegelian dialectic, man. They cause a problem, they force a reaction, and then they impose a solution. That's what the Hegelian dialectic is. Let's look at that real quick so I can make sure everybody's on pace with that. Let's look at this real quick. The Hegelian dialectic. The Hegelian dialectic is where the ruling elite create a problem, anticipating in advance the reaction of the population to the crisis, and thus conditioning the people to call for change. When the population is properly conditioned, the desired agenda of the ruling elite is presented as a solution. The solution they present is not intended to solve the problem, but to serve as the basis for a new problem or exacerbate the existing one. When a newly created problem reaches boiling point, it becomes the foundation for the people to clamor for change again. See how they create the constant cycle? See, and here's just a example. The agenda is they want a centralization of power. How are they going to accomplish that? Manufacture a terrorist threat. Oh, i.e., Operation Northwoods that we talked about. So, in order to centralize power, how are we going to get it done? Let's create a terrorist threat. Then what happens? People don't like that. People are uproared. So now they are repressive against a police state. What do they say? Well, guess what? We got a solution for everything. We're going to remove all the freedoms, transfer power from the many and for the few. So here's the terrorist threat hits in. People want a police state. Now they say, guess what? We'll give it to you. Give us your freedoms. Take away your power. We've created the solution. That's what they're trying to do, man. So all of these things happening at once, man. The destruction of the energy and the oil, the destruction of the food supply and the food chains, the destruction of the farmlands and the natural growth and organic farms and all that. Getting rid of all of that. Employment, money, got that needs to be changed over into a new global currency. Everything, and all that just happens to be happening at once, man. Various plagues hitting, medical crises, lockdowns. You understand? Oh, climate, that's an issue. And then where everybody says there's so many problems in the world, who's gonna save us? And here come the World Economic Forum and Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, everybody else saying, "Oh, we know what to do. All we need you to do is cooperate. All we need you to do is be subservient. All we need you to do is follow the rules. All we need you to do is accept the ways of the beast, and we're gonna save you. Don't worry about it. Stop reading that Bible. There's no savior in that Bible. Don't forget that. I'm your savior." That's what they're pushing. Let's move on. Look, FedEx says a global recession is coming. This coming from the CEO. Didn't we hear that from the Moabite that was running the third largest um cell phone company? They call it Yahweh, but I think it's Huawei. See, look at this. Yahweh CEO warns company may go bankrupt in 2025. This is the third largest cell phone company coming out of I think he's in China or he's in Japan, one of the two. Look, he's talking about profits collapse. He was talking about how things. He was telling everybody, man, get ready. This is it right here. We talked about the leak memo exposes the state of China's economy. He was telling everybody, man, you better prepare within the next couple of years, man. This thing is going down. So now, the FedEx CEO saying global recession is coming. Didn't we? We just read about Amazon shutting down multiple locations and plans to expand warehouses worldwide because sales and everything else is down. They thought it was going to be up. They was going to continue making all this money. Nope, they ain't going down. The global economy is headed for a recession. FedEx CEO Raj Subramanian, whatever, man. These damn heathens with these crazy ass names. Told CNBC's Jim Cramer on Thursday the shipping behemoth executive predicted that the financial issues that forced his company to withdraw its full year guidance after missing earnings and revenue estimates for its first quarter will soon befall the rest of the world. I'm very disappointed in the results that we just announced here. And the headline really is the macro situation that we're facing. Submarmian told the Mad Money host, explaining that FedEx cut its projection for second quarter earnings by nearly half after seeing weaker than expected demand in every segment around the world, which means that what? FedEx is going to be laying off. There's going to be loss of jobs coming through FedEx. UPS is already planning for a major strike next year because they ain't loving it. Um, the railroads, they just avoided having a strike. They was going to strike yesterday. But slow Biden caved in and gave them everything that they needed or wanted to keep them railways going. So there's facing protests and drops in major sectors of shipping all over the world. Let's move on. Look at this damn dude, man. There goes Slow Liden's son, Dauphine, Trick, you know, if Joe Biden is talking about how much he saved the economy in recession and all that, man, help your son, man, pay his damn child support. You know, he's a baby daddy, man. The slow Biden and them, and they, you know, his son is a nigga, man. Bottom line, man, Hunter Biden is an unadulterated nigga. And why I call him a nigga? Because a nigga is the one who's ignorant, wicked, savage. You know, the one who doesn't want to abide by, the one who's a baby daddy. The one you understand? He would fit right in the hood. Smoke crack, got baby daddies, man, running around paying for harlots. You know, drug addict, drinker, scammer. You understand? He's a nigga. Bottom line. Hunter Biden cries poverty. President's son is demanding his support payments to a 4-year-old love child with Luton Roberts be lowered due to his substantial material change to his income. Now he crying broke. I can't afford my, pay for my kids. He's under scandal. You understand? On the run from the police, man. He's a nigga. Hunter Biden is seeking to lower his child support payments for the 4-year-old love child Navy Jones, who he fathered with Luton Roberts. He filed a motion to adjust his child support Monday, citing substantial material change in his financial circumstances, including but not limited to his income. So now he's crying broke. They said he's living off of a measly $20,000 a month in his Malibu home. $20,000 a month. But that's broke for him. Hunter was just living in a $20,000 per month Malibu home with his wife Melissa and son Bo, but has recently moved out. Come on over to the hood, man. You'll fit right in. But slow Biden, man, you can get you supposedly think you got America's economy under control, man. You the big savior, man. Teach your damn son how to balance his checkbook. What's the problem? Let's move on. Buy now, pay later plans grow so do delinquencies. This is how people are now utilizing survival. Buy now, pay later. These loan shark situations that's out there, where they're allowing you to buy something to make payments after the fact. They're saying people are delinquent or even defaulting on even those things. So, not only are they talking about people paying, utilizing this to buy groceries, uh, people are utilizing these particular plans to buy necessities of life. Now they're saying that people can't even afford this stuff, man. Uh, so look at it. Americans have grown fond of buy now, pay later services, but the pay later part is becoming increasingly difficult for some borrowers. Buy now, pay later loans allow users to pay for items such as new sneakers, electronics, or luxury goods in installments. Companies such as Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna, and PayPal have built popular financial products around these short-term loans, particularly for younger borrowers who are fearful of never-ending credit card debt. Now, as the industry racks up customers, delinquencies are climbing. Inflation is squeezing consumers, making it tougher to pay off debt. Some borrowers don't budget properly, particularly if they are persuaded to take out multiple loans, while others may have been credit risk to begin with. See, so this is how Esau sets his stuff up, man. Long as I owe you, he'll never be broke. I mean, talking about a whole country, man, that's built on trillions of dollars in debt. And we all fall into that same scenario. I was telling brothers a while back, man, when I was a freshman in college. Professor Johnny Scott, I'll never forget the brother. He had a whole damn lecture in class for all the new freshmen coming in about credit cards and not to get caught in the credit card debt. Because here we are, new freshmen coming on campus. You looking, Discover, Visa, MasterCard, Diners Club, tent set up all over the place. Hey, you want a credit card? Come on over. We'll get you $500 on the spot. I mean, you a kid from the hood. You like, what? 500? And what I need to do? Oh, sign here, put your social security card, blah, 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 blah. We can get all this approved for you. Card will be in the mail in 7 to 10 days. Really? Yeah, you got to establish credit. Once you start in here, you got to. People was racking up credit cards like crazy. And next thing you know, because we're financially illiterate and don't know how this whole thing works, we thinking, oh, $500 and all I got to pay back is $20 a month. I can do that, no problem. Little they tell you, oh, that interest rate is going up every year. Or your $20 actually is only paying against the interest, and you're over your $500 budget because oh yeah, you went and bought them clothes. Oh, you went and took your lady out to the movies, and then y'all went out for drinks afterwards. You figuring I ain't got no money, or I got credit. I'm gonna use that. Oh, some people use two credit cards to put a down payment on a car. For you know what, you busted and jacked up. Jake's dropping out like crazy because they, got to pay off them debts and can't afford to stay in the school. But Professor Scott warned everybody about all of that. Every Jake he was telling, he said, "Man, don't do it. You're gonna get jacked up." But what are they doing now? They instilling the same thing. Instilling the same thing. Oh, buy now, pay later, no problem. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. You understand? So this is everything that they got going on. Buy now, pay later. Now, the Most High told us, man, envy not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. You see this? Envy not thou the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Well, what's one of his ways? And like I said, I'm speaking to you as much as I'm speaking to me. We're all debt slaves. But look what America sets up. $30 trillion in debt. This is the American way. But you know what? Nobody comes after him. Nobody condemns him for not being able to balance his budget. Nobody condemns America and Esau for having $30 trillion in debt, man. Nobody's saying, man, you file for bankruptcy, ruin your credit, ruin your life, your reputation. No, you're not going to be able to go buy nothing after this because you've been shown to be irresponsible with your debt and with your lifestyle. Nobody condemns him because you know what? He don't have nobody to answer to. Everybody knows that he's not going to pay this back. This is unpayable debt. And because it's all his currency, it's all his money, it's like he owes himself. And his way out is to establish more lines of credit. He go to the Federal Reserve, hey, print me more money. Federal Reserve says, how much? Hey, this is going to actually cause inflation, man. You got too many dollars floating around as it is. So what? We need it. I got to send 2 more billion to Ukraine. I got to go and, all this other madness. So when the Most High said, "Envy not thou oppressor, and choose none of his ways," this is one of the ways. Not only, our people, man, we done learned everything from the so-called white man, man. How did he get this place? Rape, rob, murder, steal. What do our people do? Rape, rob, murder, steal. Learning his ways, man, has got us jacked up in sin and destruction. Look what happened to I mentioned the guy earlier, man. The rapper, PNB Rock. First thing I said, and now is, I'm sure everybody's saying that. The brother went to a Roscoe's on the east side in the hood that nobody should be going to, especially if you're not from that area or if you're not familiar with anybody over there, or if you listen, Roscoe's is not that good to be going over there to sit down in some damn hell pit on the east side in the hood. You got Roscoe's in West LA on Pico that's more popular. You got one in Inglewood, you got one in Hollywood, you got one in Pasadena, you got one on the east side. You pick the worst of the five to go to, pull up in a damn Bentley, drop top Bentley, jeweled up, all your damn jewels on, man. In the hood where the car, the jewelry was more than people's annual salaries and the cost of their home. You could add both together. If a brother over there is making $50,000 a year and he's living in a house that's worth 450, you're driving a car that damn near is that man's whole life. We ain't even talking about the hundreds of $1,000s of jewelry that you got on. And you think you can just go into this spot and sit down and chill and eat like nobody's going to notice you. Nobody's going to say, "Hey, there's a plate over here. Come eat." Just break me off after you get them. Brother sat down, got a chain snatched, and then got put to death in there because whether he resisted or not, I don't know. Whatever it was, the cat that went in there and robbed him felt like he needed to lay the dude down. You can't do that. You got to be more wiser, man. These little jakes out here, man. The PPP money is gone. EDD money is gone. These little niggas got nothing to show for it. They had no idea about investing. They didn't utilize the money right. All that. They went out there and bought lean, weed, clothes, went on little trips, bought a car. All that stuff is gone now. You buying cars that you got to make payments on now. They ain't getting a PPP loan. Wasn't enough to buy a car outright and still live. Unless they was buying them hot off of some Armenians or something like that. But otherwise, you're going to have to pay some payments on that. And you roll up with the damn near $1 million in value, somebody gonna come holler at you. So this is part of envying the not the oppressor. Cause that's colonialism, man. You pop up on somebody's spot, man, and you trying to take over. Esau said, I'm moving in, I'm taking what I want. So he kills, lies, steals, murders, kidnaps, and the whole nine. And our people doing the same damn thing. Now, in the financial sector, same reasons. He promotes these little plans. Oh, you ain't got it right now? Don't worry. You can get it right now, man. We'll just finance you later. They doing that. What was it? Bank of America. I don't think I covered this. Did y'all hear about Bank of America giving free bank loans to Jackson? Free house with no down payments in Detroit? I didn't even cover this. Bank of America is testing no down payment mortgages for minority communities. They always want to drag some jakes up in the mix, right? Let me give you my personal testimony. 2008, they had uh oh, you go to the one in Long Beach, Karatazat? Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's plenty of them, and a lot of them is still dangerous. But listen, man, if you're a damn rapper and you got all this damn money and all of that, man, get your food to go and get up out of there. I mean, you can't just sit up in there, man. Are you crazy? Not in today's climate. It ain't working like that. So back to what I was saying. Uh 2008, you hear 2007, you're hearing about the housing boom. All these predatory loans is getting put out there, man. All these little fake real estate agents. Remember that back in the early 2000s, if y'all was around, everybody was getting into real estate. Everybody wanted to be, going to school. I'm going to get my real estate license, man. Housing market's where it's at, man. We flipping these houses. I'm selling houses. The Ace was making money. Me and my family, man, we was looking to buy a house. Granted, all we hearing about is they making houses affordable, man. Everybody can get a house now, blah, 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 blah. Banks is approving everybody. I know damn well what I was making, my wife was making. I was like, what? Nah, we won't qualify. Yeah, everybody getting. Okay, let's find out. Met with these. Oh, I forgot how we linked up with these one Jakes. Some Jakes. Oh yeah, we can get you qualified for this, that, and the third, and you can get a house here and pick something out, and we'll get everything lined up. But me and my rib was like, what? I got two little kids at the time. I'm like, whoa, okay, maybe we will do it. But we held out. Spirit of the Lord said, no, don't jump so fast. We went to another. My rib had one of her coworkers. Oh no, it was the 10 tribe, a Northern Kingdom sister. She was going to school with, and she was going to cosmetology school at the time. And the Northern Kingdom was like, yeah, my family's into real estate. We can help you guys out. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so we go to them. Listen to what they got to say. Northern Kingdom is like, hold on. These other people say y'all qualify for this? Oh hell no, no way. You guys credit and income, you're more down in this range. Like if they set you up, you guys definitely would have been jacked up if you went over there. So, but what they reevaluated and qualified us for was like you can get like a little condo or something like that or whatever, but nothing that we was like it wasn't worth doing. So I said, nah, I'm cool. We're all right. We just left the whole thing alone. A year later, year and a half later, everything crashes, everything collapses. Everybody that had them homes all got, lost their houses. Everything collapsed, man. I thank the Most High I didn't get caught in that mix. Same thing that's going on, in my estimation. They're trying to set up Jake's here because in all estimations, everybody's talking about how the housing market is going to crash, how the housing market is not good right now. People are losing money on their houses. It's a seller's market, but nobody's buying. But here comes Bank of America because they love you Negroes so much that we're going to help you get into a sinking ship and put you in further debt. Oh, no down payment. Bank of America launches a zero down payment mortgages to help minorities buy their first homes. Here's who can apply. And I believe this is starting off in Detroit. Detroit is one of the most downtrodden, places in America. A lot of condemned homes and stuff. I mean, you can buy houses for $10,000 out there. They're all going to need work, but you know, see, look at it. To help narrow home ownership gap among Black and Hispanic Latino communities, Bank of America is launching a new zero down payment, zero closing cost mortgage products to help people in minority communities buy their first home. First of all, they're doing this because how much they're losing in the housing market. They need some new blood. They need fresh blood in the mix. Fresh debt. You understand? So they're going to be telling people, "Oh yeah, you qualify for this. No down payment. See, the money that you would have needed for a down payment, you actually can flip that, and you can utilize it for your state tax. I mean your property taxes. Oh, you can actually utilize that money and budget it out for your first year of your mortgage payments. Don't worry, you'll be able to do it. You would have had to pay 15,000 as a mortgage cost. Now use the 15,000 that you may have been saving up. Oh, you only have 5,000. Okay, no problem. Utilize that for your. See, that's how they sell you on it. And then the housing market is already like a sinking ship and jacked up. So you're inviting them into hell on the pretenses of, oh, this is good for you. We're helping you. We love you, niggas and spicks. The program called the Community Affordable Loan Solution will be available to certain markets, including Black and or Hispanic Latino neighborhoods. You see, this is the byword in the proverb here. Black and or Hispanic / Latino. I mean, that lets you know why we need to be in this truth and understand our identities. All these damn labels. Reading on. Neighborhoods in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami. The loans are subject to rigorous underwriting and are based on credit guidelines, including on-time bill payments, including rent, utilities, phone, and auto insurance payments. Eligibility is based on income and home location. No minimum credit score or mortgage insurance is required. Isn't that nice? So they, all these little buy now, pay later, free loans, all that. We already know. If he have needed thee, he's gonna use you. A gift destroyeth the heart, man. We can't get caught up in some of these little, hype schemes that the so-called white man wants. He's trying to save that housing market, man. So what better way than to prey on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, in our ignorance and us not knowing. Once we get thrown up in there, man, all hell's gonna break loose with the debt, with the increase of inflation, because the Fed is already saying that they're going up and continually going up on the percentages of inflation. So the cost that you're paying for your house, if you qualify and you get it, is not going to be the same come next year because the interest rates are going up. So your mortgage payment is going to go up instantaneously. And you going in there thinking, oh, this is, and they're going to say, hey, that's federal, man. We got nothing to do with that, man. Your loan between us is different. We got to pay the tax too. Sorry. So you're getting in on and this is an out of state price. This damn show is not no California price. Get into your house, you're paying $1,500 a month. Oh, next year the Fed rate increases the taxes and everything else. Oh, it's actually 1,600 now within 6 months. This is all hypothetical, but you see how it goes, and then it continually goes up, and before you know it, man, you can't afford it. You're out of there. Bank of America says, "Thanks for the cash, sucker. you ain't getting this money back." But I hope you enjoyed your stay while you was there for the last 2 years, even though you thought you was gonna be there for 30 or longer. So it's a lot of scamming going on. I mean, it's a lot of things and hidden under the guises of we love you niggas. No, they don't. Just like that white woman sat up there and lied about the migrants. Talking about we stand here with you, but get on that bus and go to the military base. You can't be here in Martha's Vineyard with us rich white folks. You see that? So these are the new schemes that's going on out there, man. Not necessarily schemes, but we just got to be wise and just say, hey, can I afford to put myself in further debt, or do I just not need to get some of the things that I'm getting right now? Because they definitely are trying to create more debt slaves, which is what America is built on. Let's move on. The meta meltdown. Facebook shows fall from grace among the most valuable U.S. companies. People are disconnected from some of this matters, man. Facebook is under scrutiny. They're falling in their value. They're losing value. So even Facebook is getting hit through these economic times. Here goes slow Leiden again. This is a great deal. Biden congratulates himself on a rail deal after the White House caved to unions and handed out $11,000 bonuses and 25% wage increases to avert a nationwide strike. I told you, man, slow Biden is a trick. A big old trick, man. Whatever, when he gets shook down, he pays. Look, Ukraine has been draining him for damn near 60 billion. And that's in less than what? The war started in February and we're in September. That's 6 months. A little more than 6 months, man. And he's giving up every damn thing he can. His son is a trick, paying off prostitutes and buying up drugs every damn place. To the point of where he can't even pay his child support now. Slow Biden he got punked by the unions. Look, they said he caved in because he didn't want to have he couldn't have that crisis on his hands to say, well, slow Biden could have did something about this the railroad strike, and he didn't. Not before these elections. Not before these elections, he had to do it. And they the railways, man, they postured themselves perfect. They said, man, if you don't get this done, man, we shut down all railways. Amtrak had already canceled a gang of um travel for coming to the West Coast and I think the Midwest. They canceled a bunch of their trips. And that would have jacked up all the inventories and all of that. That would have the supply chains really would have been hit. So he had to break down because he wants to keep his little narrow ass in office. But let's move on. Oh, and look what happens. And now his approval rating is sharply ahead in the midterms. So the plan is working. The plan is working. So all of a sudden now he's Superman again. Everybody loves slow Biden again. Come on, man. They playing games for real. Look at this. Great show, Joe. Pitifully small crowd of union workers rock up to support President Slow Biden's Labor Day speech in Pennsylvania as his crucial midterm election campaign ramps up. Look at the crowd. He's going at a Labor Day speech, going to go speak at with a crowd of union workers in Pennsylvania. And look at how many people is here. I mean, give or take what, maybe about 50? And they're going to act like he got hundreds of people out there supporting him. How do you get to this rising sharply ahead of midterms and you can barely draw a crowd in Pennsylvania? Come on, man. The fix is in. The fix is in. Let's move on. Oh, see, I wanted to, I was almost done, but I forgot. Last week I talked about Megan Thee Stallion. She's supposed to meet with Hillary and Chelsea Clinton on their little TV show. And I said, you gonna teach her? Are you gonna teach them how to twerk too and all of that? Megan Thee Stallion talks WAP and thoughts with Hillary and Chelsea Clinton. It's great to see women be so fierce. Great to see women be so fierce, man. The sad part about this is Megan Thee Stallion is a quote unquote college graduate who's running around here with her ass cheeks out every damn chance she gets, shaking and sticking her tongue out and doing all kind of folly, misdirecting and misguiding young sisters out here. And she's not the only one, but there's plenty of them out there, operatives that are continually leading our people astray in ignorance. And the time that she could step up her game, her mental game as a college graduate, she could have been on Hillary Clinton's ass asking her very interesting questions about when she called our people super predators. Remember that? Where's she at? Come on, I ain't letting your ass go. Get over here. Remember this?
The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
The fourth challenge is to take back our streets from crime, gangs, and drugs. And we have actually been making progress on this.
This is 1996. Maybe Megan Thee Stallion was little. She didn't know. But ain't no way you ain't heard about this. But you can talk WAP. You can talk thought stuff. With some damn heathens, man, ain't doing nothing but laughing at your goofy ass. But you can't talk some real stuff. You can't put her on the hot seat. You can't talk to her about some real issues that affect our communities. You want to carry on the ignorance, huh? I haven't watched the interview. And I won't. Because I'm sure it was a bunch of folly that I've just been shaking my head at. But clearly she didn't think about bringing this up.
Count as a nation because of what local law enforcement officials are doing, because of what citizens and neighborhood patrols are doing. We're making some progress. Much of it is related to the initiative called community policing, because we have finally gotten more police officers on the street. That was one of the goals that the president had when he pushed the crime bill that was passed in 1994.
Oh, the crime bill, the 1994 one. It's been locking Jakes up innocently. That was locking Jakes up doing hard time for small offenses. Or the same one that Slow Biden was running around talking about, here, for this little piece of crack, you can get 5 years. And meanwhile, his son was smoking the same thing that he was sitting out here telling everybody that you should be getting locked up for. Oh, you talking about the same one that wanted to punish rock cocaine for like 20 years as opposed to powder cocaine where you get less than 5 years. Oh, because the Edomites was the ones snorting the damn coke, burning their noses out. Oh, if they get caught with powder, it's less. But if you get caught with rocks, we got to give them more. Oh, the niggas are smoking rocks. The niggas are selling the rocks. The Hispanics and the wetback, they selling the rock. We get them. Oh, but all the rock stars and all the Hollywood stars and all of the rich elites and all of them that's snorting the nose candy up, oh, let them slide. That crime bill?
He promised 100,000 police. We're moving in that direction, but we can see it already makes a difference. Because if we have more police interacting with people, having them on the streets, we can prevent crimes. We can prevent petty crimes from turning into something worse. But we also have to have an organized effort against gangs. Just as in a previous generation, we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore.
Oh, so you want to talk about connections? How about your husband and Jeffrey Epstein? Want to talk about that? And all the kids? Huh? Lolita Express? Want to talk about that? And Pedo Island? Those connections? Oh, you don't want to talk about that, huh? Megan Thee Stallion, you didn't want to bring that up?
They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators.
Oh, these kids are called super predators. And then what else?
No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI.
Whoa. We can talk about what brought them to them situation. We could talk about, but we're not. We got to bring these niggas and spics to heel.
Bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI. Talk about why they ended up that way, but first,
well, why not
super
talk
predator.
about why not talk about rehabilitation? I thought it was all about mental health and all about circumstances and understanding why people are doing what they're doing and understanding the situation rather than just convicting and rather than just condemning. I thought that's where we're supposed to be at. No. She said, we can talk about all that, but we don't give a damn. They need to heal.
No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI.
Okay. So, Megan, you didn't want to bring that up, huh? You want to talk WAP. You want to talk... And Hillary definitely ain't got the WAP because, Bill wouldn't be out there running around looking for little girls. And what's her name? What about this? What about this? About her rolling with hot sauce and Monica Lewinsky and all that, man. When's the last time you heard about Chelsea Clinton with a man? Anyway, look at this.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
You see these Jakes? The only one who said something was Charlamagne. I give him credit for this, answering to this. The broad said that what's something that she does not leave without is hot sauce. I'd have told her, where's your purse? Bring it out right now. I want to see that hot sauce in your purse. I'm calling Folly. Where's it at? Hot sauce. You know you niggas love hot sauce, huh? But listen to this.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Are
you getting information right now?
Now watch her react. Yeah. Now she got to carry on the lie. Now she got to pump it up.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Whoa. Now he said, I want you to know people are going to say you're pandering to black people. She said, okay, is it working? She didn't even deny the fact that I said that I stereotypically said that I keep hot sauce because I know you niggas do. And hopefully you jump on board. No different when Slow Biden said, if you vote for Trump over me, then you ain't black. These damn heathen men want to dictate to you who you are, how you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be involved in with your culture. They dictating every damn thing for us, and our people sit back and laugh. And Megan Thee Stallion want to talk about WAP and how to be a thought.
Okay. Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Okay.
No, seriously. Hot sauce.
No, there's nothing serious about it, man. Get out of here. So, I mean, we see what's going on, man. Super predators, we can talk about how or why they got there, but we don't care. We need to bring them to heel. Or I carry hot sauce because I know you niggas gonna, sympathize with me and feel where I'm coming from. Is it working? I mean, this is ridiculously foul, man. Let's move on. Oh, I'm gonna let y'all just read this real quick. I gotta get up out of here. Lancet report claiming could have come from a met with an uproar. A top medical journal at the heart of several pandemic related controversies published a major report Wednesday that concluded that the deadly pathogen might possibly have leaked from somewhere you may live. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. The games continue. Nation is warning. Get ready. Something else is coming down the pipeline. That's why they said God gave you two arms, one for the and the other for the. Yeah, we got two treatments for you. Line up and get ready. Let's move on. Remember, I talked about it last weekend's episode. You can see what it does. We know the flu, they actually are giving you the influenza, right? And then they're boosting it with that other thing. And then they're telling you there's going to be a difficult flu that's going to happen this season. I wonder where and why and how it's going to come. Very interesting. Oh, look at this. CDC director announces a shakeup, citing some mistakes were made. Really? Oh, so there were some mistakes. Oh, but community guidelines says we shouldn't be talking about those, or otherwise you won't be seeing me again. So I better not talk too much about this. But y'all can look it up. Y'all can look it up, right? Oh, they're acknowledging that there's been some mistakes were made in how we handle this thing. Oh, there were some mistakes made in the data and all that. But remember, we're sealing these documents for 50 years, or was it 75 years? So you'll never know exactly what went down. Our generation will be gone. You understand? The plan changes at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC leaders called it a quote reset. Oh, where else have we heard that from? Where else have we heard about a great reset? Come amid criticism of the agency's response to the thing and this mpox and other public health threats. The changes include internal staffing moves and steps to speed up data releases. Oh, so mistakes were made, huh? Are you going to tell the people who's? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me move on. Look, a wave of Lebanon bank heists to seize back their frozen savings. People are going into the banks, robbing the banks to get their own money. So, if anybody's wondering whether or not banks have the ability to close out your accounts, refuse you to get your own money out, well, ask Lebanon, ask China. Remember, China had the damn tanks out in the front of the banks telling people your money is no longer yours, it belongs to the bank, it belongs to the state, and it's going to be used for further future investments. Here they are in Lebanon. People have money and they're not able to get their own money out because of the economic crashes and the issues that's happening within the banking system. They ain't got the money in the banks like that. You know, everything, the way the banks work is very tricky. They do overnight transfers, borrowing and sending money back to each other, interest rates. They got to collect all this stuff. So at the time when you want your money, it might not be there. That's why when you go in there with a $5,000 check and they say, well, 2,000 is available right now. Within the next 2 days, you can get another 1,000. And after that, everything else will be free because they ain't got it all right there. And you saying, this is my money. If you just seen Hebrew Hump Day, you got the sister man that won the 5-figure check from the casino, went to the bank and they told her it was fake. Told her she can't have it. See, the banks is playing games, man. The bankers are some of the biggest crooks out there. So Lebanon, man, they got people in there trying to rob the banks to get their own money out because why? They being told they have restrictions on withdrawals. Let's read this real quick. A man held up a Lebanese bank to withdraw his frozen savings Friday, the latest in a string of depositor heists in the crisis-hit country that have garnered wide public support. Lebanon has been mirrored in the economic crisis for more than 2 years since the value of its currency began plummeting. Sound familiar? Value of its currency plummeting? Inflation? Stagflation, shrinkflation, all of that. and banks started imposing draconian restrictions on withdrawals. The holdup of a Beirut bank on Wednesday by an activist who filmed herself using a toy gun appears to have sparked a series of copycat raids by people fed up at being unable to withdraw their savings. That's why some economists are saying, man, get your money out the bank. Get your money out the bank before you lose it. Everybody got to do what they got to do. I'm no financial expert. I'm trying to figure this stuff out my damn self. But sooner or later, you see a pattern of things happening, and you saying, not me. I got to make a move. I got to figure something else out. But they're making moves on the banks. Look at this. The Pope imposed a deadline for the Vatican transfer their assets to the bank. So even the Pope is saying consolidate all assets and monies into the Vatican bank. They got banks and financial investments all over the place. They said by September 30th, all money needs to be centralized into the Vatican bank. What do they know? Does he know that is telling them we need to centralize and get our money into one place, because if we leave it in these other places, it might be lost? That's the question. We don't know yet. But something the Pope sees as a way for them to secure all their assets and their money. He said, put it all in one bank. Put it all in our Vatican bank so that we can make sure we don't lose some stuff. Something's going on. What? I don't know. But if he says shake and move with this money, something might be happening. Let's move on. Water bomb kills at least 10 people. 16 inches of rain falls in Italy's Marche region in just 2 hours. So more flooding, more destruction, more chaos in different areas that the white man's going to say it's global warming. He's not going to say it's the most high. It's all global warming. But Italy, they getting drowned. They got drowned out. Right? Alaska, they're getting ready to prepare for the strongest storm in over a decade approaching western Alaska. This was 3 hours ago. They said wind gusts as high as 90 miles an hour, right? Look at this. Because of the concave shape of the coastline in parts of western Alaska, particularly around Norton Sound, storm surge induced coastal flooding could be extremely high. 8 to 11 feet of coastal flooding is possible from Nome eastward to Golovin, with more than 12 feet possible in easternmost point of the Sound of Golovin and Koyuk. I don't know where this is at in Alaska, but they're saying that they could either get 8 or up to 12 feet of flooding water hitting these particular areas. Ahead of the storm's arrival, bayous in the Bering Sea have been showing major wave action in open water. One bayou near the Aleutian Islands indicated waves the heights of 41 feet earlier today. They said they witnessed a bayou go as high as 41 feet. A wave 41 feet that's heading towards Alaska. By the time it gets there, it said that they're going to get hit with about 8 to 12 feet of flooding. So Alaska, they better buckle up over there, man. They better buckle up over there because it's going down. Imagine that. Imagine that. A lot going on in the world, man. A lot going on in the world. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man. Is everybody all right? I haven't had a chance to check in on my comments. Shalom, Za'af. Shalom to you, my sister. Praying that you well. All right. What you say, Shaq? I got to, bro. I got to, bro. I'm learning, man. We didn't got enough strikes and enough damn times they didn't shut us down. That I had to figure some things out, man. Hopefully it works. Karatazar, hey, shalom to you, right? You and Diz the Wiz, Mama Bear, man. Y'all be well. Y'all about Shemi Shai Brakatah. Who else did I miss on here? Who else I missed on here? Anybody else that I missed? Manaf, where you been at? Where you been at? Shabbat shalom to you, my sister. Hopefully you well. All right. Soldier Israel on the 7th. Shabbat shalom to you. But yeah, look like everybody's solid, man. Look like everybody good. The water for the contributions, man. Everybody checking in. Hey, Mary, shalom to you, my sister out there in Nigeria. Hopefully you well out there, man. My Igbo family out there. Shalom to you. If anybody else I miss, man, y'all know it ain't personal, man. I'm behind on catching up. Ashar Shalom, Mike. The rest of y'all be well, man. We'll be back live again in a couple hours, man. I'll be back with another lesson. So most high willing, man, if you got time, tune in. Some of y'all in different time zones, so your Sabbath might be over. You might be ready to go, do what you do. But if you are still locked in, tune back in, man. We got another lesson coming up later. Most high willing. All right. So other than that, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why you have man. The water for joining me on another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger, episode 140. Where we at? 47, 46. I'm losing track. So much going on, man. If you haven't wiped your feet, make sure you do so on your way out, man. Help your brother out, man. Hit the like button. Let's make sure that the algorithm stay potent so that the rest of the nation can get some of this information. All right. So with that, man, I'm out of here, man. Y'all be well. Most I will. I'll see y'all later. Shalom.